Pause. Everything that's about to be done in this video is our opinion and our opinion alone. We're not saying that they're right. We're not saying that they're wrong. They are just our opinion.
They may be wrong.
Sure.
They're probably going to be wrong.
They may be right.
But that's why they're called opinions.
Everyone has them. Welcome to the Staying on Topic podcast. Welcome to the Staying on Topic podcast. My name is Ruben.
I'm Vic.
My name is John.
And we are doing a tier list. Again,
Tier list.
Our second tier list. Our first one wasn't that great.
Yeah. If you saw it, cool. If you didn't, it's don't have to worry about it.
Well, it's one of those things where it's very much you have to watch it at that time specifically.
Yeah.
You're not gonna watch a tier list of Thanksgiving food other than on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll catch it again next year.
But it was a fun, silly episode. We
It was
had a lot of fun doing it. We
fun.
went a lot harder than we thought we were gonna do.
We did. Had a little more debate than we thought.
We debated on desserts, didn't we?
Yeah, I went
lot.
very hard on banana pudding.
A lot.
Yeah.
And you guys were so adamant about I think pecan pie. It was some sort of pie.
It was a pie.
It was something.
Pie.
Yeah.
I'm very
But-
passionate about
But
pie.
today
Yeah.
we are going to be covering the MCU. Almost all of it. There are
Almost.
on the tier list that we did find. There are, I think, 3 things missing. We might put them in post, like just a picture of them and where they would be. We will figure that out when we get there. But for the most part, this is pretty much everything that is in the MCU currently. We will
Yes.
also reiterate, we have seen a majority of stuff, but there were some things on here that we just haven't seen. Like
Yeah.
Or
I have
maybe
not-
one of us has seen, the other people haven't
yeah,
seen.
Like I'm gonna come out clean. I have not seen the Eternals. They keep telling me it's good. I also have not seen the Groot series that apparently has 2 seasons.
I didn't even know
I did
Good
not
series
see that.
existed.
So
I knew it existed. I just haven't watched it.
yeah. So if those shows are your favorite, if those movies are your favorite, and
I
we rank them
apologize.
poorly, yeah, we apologize. Luckily, there is a never seen tier, so we can put the ones that we just haven't seen
Yes.
collectively in there. But for the most part, we are going to rank them from S, A, B, and C, or garbage. To be honest, I don't think there's a garbage movie. I really don't. I think most of them have something to be enjoyed. To me, garbage has to be actively damaging to whatever was going on, like
Okay.
to a
I
character.
get it.
And I don't think any of the movies have really done that. Because like I don't equate like garbage with boring. Like to me, boring. You can still have fun with a boring movie.
Sure.
Like like
That's
you can have
true.
fun with a bad movie. Like to me, garbage has to be like damaging to like the brand.
You
or
want
the
to take garbage out?
Oh, we could. And just what put I don't know what you
Yeah.
put there. Like
No,
D.
you're good. We
Yeah.
don't have to put anything there.
I mean, but not great.
No, we don't have to put anything there. We just
All right.
delete
Yeah,
row.
let's
Boom.
take that out. All right.
Way easier.
To be fair,
Yay.
before we start, do you guys think that there was anything below C in the MCU? I really don't. I don't personally.
I mean, if we're just, it's C. It's just
Below C?
To
I
me,
don't
to me,
think
S
so.
is like you're gonna watch that all the time. A is like it was good and you're gonna watch it again, but you might wait a little bit.
Yep.
B is like that was a good movie, and then C was like one and done. Like it was fine.
Like I've watched it once. It's
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind watching it again, but you're not gonna go actively watch it again.
But I think that's more like a B. Like if you wouldn't mind
Then,
watching.
what would you put? What do you equate C as?
Just you watched it just to get just because
to
it's
do
part
it?
of the part of the
Yeah.
MCU, and then you'll never touch it again.
No, there you go. That is what.
That way we
collectively-
don't have to type it out there. That's just you
That
got
is-
it. You've all seen tier lists before.
And then never
you know
seen
what-
is obviously never seen.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Cool.
anyway, I guess we'll just get started.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yep.
We have a lot to go through. And we'll probably give like little, not really synopsises, but like our general thoughts of seeing these for the first time. So we'll just start with the one that started it all. We got Iron Man 1.
So Iron Man, never seen. No, I'm just joking. So,
I was about to say, you've
I'm
never
like-
seen Iron Man? That's crazy.
Damn.
so where are we going with Iron Man? Where are we going with Iron Man?
So here's the thing about the early MCU movies. A lot of them are like fine. None of them like blow you out of the water. But I
True.
think Iron Man,
But at the time,
yeah, Iron Man
for
at
what
the
it was
time,
at the time, it was
was
a
pretty
great
cool.
movie. It was pretty cool.
I don't know if it's S.
I would give it an A.
I would also.
I think I would put it at A. Because the very first time I saw it, it was like because there were no other Marvel movies, right? I mean, not
Well, there
there
this
were,
Yeah,
but
this was
not,
before they were like, hey, we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
Where it's all collectively in one thing. Because like, before this, you had Spider-Man, X-Men,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
There was an incredible. There's a Hulk movie.
Yeah, the
before this
Hulk
one,
movie
too.
with the other guy. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I actually really liked that movie.
That one was.
Ed Norton.
Daredevil,
Daredevil.
The Punisher had a movie.
Yeah.
Elektra.
Yeah, so there were other Marvel movies, but this was the first.
This is the thing to
MCU that
start
started
the
building
universe.
on. Yeah.
This is the MCU start.
So for it being that, I think it was a great.
Yeah, I think
it was a pretty
it's
good
an A tier movie. Yeah, for sure. All right, so next,
I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah. Also, before we keep going, these are going to be in chronological order of release.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had to sit down and do it.
Yeah, we had to come
put
up
them down
with-
because somebody did them in alphabetical order, and that was just annoying. Why would you do that? Just do them in release order. So the next one we have up is The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk
With
Yes,
Edward
yes.
Norton before they recasted him.
Yep.
I
I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
here's the it's pretty good. I have not watched it in forever.
No.
Yeah. So for me personally, but here's the thing: I'm also not opposed to watching it again because aside from like She-Hulk and like a couple of other appearances, we haven't gotten a Hulk thing in a long time.
True.
Yeah.
Like when we talked about Captain America: Brave New World, which is not on this list, we'll put it on there. We thought that was kind of like a cool what could have been like a cool Hulk movie,
Yeah.
Mm,
but like that's probably the closest we've ever been to do like a Hulk movie
like an
in
actual.
like a while.
Yeah.
That being said, I think the Incredible Hulk is good. I don't think it's better than Iron Man. I think it's like B.
I'll give it
I
a
think
solid B.
I believe it's as good as Iron Man.
Well, then defend it.
Well, I mean,
Like what do you really like about the movie?
because I just think it was a good portrayal of what the Hulk should be.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
Well,
well,
'cause,
I'm
like-
remembering the movie right because I know there was another movie. So just, I don't know, and I like Ed Norton as an actor, and I
Norton.
just think it was. I wish it would have made more movies. You know,
Sure.
and continued it, but I don't really have an argument for it. I mean, it's not. I guess it could be B. It's a movie I've watched before. I'll watch it again.
I don't know, Vic. What say you? I guess you're the split.
Sure. I would give it like a solid B, but there were times in the movie where, now, give some context. I was kind of younger when this movie came out.
Yeah, I believe this
Right.
movie came out in 2008,
Yeah.
2009.
I was like 9 when it came out. So,
Okay.
I did try to watch it again. I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Not because I didn't like it, but because I got busy. It's fine. I had fun watching it, right? But I wouldn't say it's like my favorite. I would say it's like,
I was more gauging it off of what it was at that time.
at the time.
You know, not like
okay.
compared. Like I'm gonna try to look at these movies just to give a kind of a. I'm gonna give it as a. Blah, blah, blah.
Like you're wearing your nostalgia glasses.
Yeah, not as looking at it as okay. I'm gonna compare it to everything that's been made
Gotcha.
since. Because if I do that, then I probably would put it at B or C.
Well, here's the thing.
For me.
If I do
It would
that,
just-
it goes down to a C.
That's
Because
what I'm
I
saying.
did not like this movie.
if I was
when
doing that,
first
Iron Man
watching
would
it.
go to a B. But
Would go to a
I'm
B.
doing it for what it
Yeah,
was
yeah, for
at that
what it
time
was
when I
at that
first saw
time.
it. I'm getting my first impressions of when I first saw the movie. Where do I think it should have been on the list?
Mm.
Not where I think it's on the list for the MCU. I don't know if that's what y'all are doing.
No. So what I'm saying, I'm doing that.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's at a B.
Okay.
If I were to,
Yeah, then we'll go with B.
if
Yeah,
I were to
y'all are
say, if I were to say like what you're trying to do, where it's like F for the time, I would put it down to a C. Because when I first watched it, like when I was a kid, I don't like it.
Well, that's what I'm
It was
saying. That's how
boring.
I'm gauging it. For
Well, no,
that
no,
time.
no. I see what Vic's saying is like the opposite of why. If I was thinking about it like as a kid, because I was a big Hulk guy.
Uh-huh.
Like I had VHS tapes of the animated show. I
Yeah.
had like toys of it and everything. I was really into the Hulk. So like if we were basing it on that, it would be A. But I'm basing it as like just like a general movie.
Yeah.
Like if
Oh,
I were
okay.
to want to watch it again, especially now, because I'm
I
not
got
as
you.
into the Hulk now.
I got you.
Sure.
Even though he's like.
So
one
you're
of my
going
mains.
kind of in between. He's going one way. I'm going one way. So
But I think B. Here's like B's. We're not saying
Yeah.
B's a bad movie.
No. B's
far
good.
from it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just like compared to like Iron Man, it's just not as good. Now, don't get me wrong. Once we finish Phase 1, I think Hulk starts to look a little better. So I guess we'll just move on to Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, I think, is also. Here's the thing: a lot of people don't like Iron Man 2. I kind of do.
It got a lot of hate.
Yeah, I think
but
Iron Man 2 is not
yeah.
that bad. I would put it in B with the Incredible Hulk.
I
Iron
would
Man-
put it in B.
Well, that's where he's dying from the poison, right?
Technically, yes,
Yes,
because he has to change his arc reactor.
Yeah.
Because he makes the new element.
B sounds good.
Yeah. Below Hulk.
Yeah, I've never
yeah.
understood like the hate. Like to me, it's a fine movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like, I think the character of Whiplash, when he's actually doing the whipping and stuff, is like but that's not really the point. I think of him.
I liked Whiplash better as like the scientist rather.
Yeah,
than
when he's not
Yeah.
actually being a villain, and
Yeah.
he's just being the scientist. He's pretty.
I was
he's
like,
a pretty cool
that's
villain.
yeah. He's
but when
cool.
he's actually just trying to be like the villain with the whips and stuff, he's not as cool.
Oh, that's my favorite scene with him is when he's talking to Hammer and like they see the robot and he just rips off. The
Yeah.
thing. It's like Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I honestly the beginning is also pretty cool because like it's just Tony Stark being like kind of like snotty and stuck up, and he's like, you know, he goes to the government building.
Yeah.
Because he gets called into Congress or something.
Yeah.
And
That
he's
one was good.
like
That's
showing
one of the best parts of the movie.
yeah, he's like
It's
showing
really
everybody like,
good.
hey, I am years ahead of where every other country is. You can thank me for keeping our country safe.
Yeah.
And then he
Like-
does this.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh, and then
Yeah, Iron Man 2, I think it's good.
Iron Man's
Like
just
it's not
good.
that bad.
Yeah. It's
All right. We got Thor, the first one. Honestly, this is C tier. I don't like it. I
Oh,
don't
yeah?
I don't like Thor. I think
The first Thor?
I think the first Thor movie, it's not as bad as the second, but it's not that great.
Oh.
So you think it's worse or it's better than the second?
It's better than the second, for sure. But it's worse than these three movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Its whole story
Its
of
whole
him
story.
being here on
Yeah.
Earth, just man, if it was a Thor movie
I-
and he was in, you know,
Mhm.
Well,
not here.
Because it's like weirdly like a fish out of water story because he gets like
Oh, totally,
not
yeah.
like banned from Asgard, but he like
He's
like
banished.
banished from Asgard.
Yeah.
So it's kind of him just like learning like culture in like the West.
Yeah, but if you're bringing, if the point, well, they like you said, they hadn't planned this yet. So
Yeah.
if their point was, you know, originally to just bring Thor into the, you know, into the universe, like,
Yeah.
you know, give some
Yeah.
backstory to him, give some. I mean, they
Like-
did show stuff.
Yeah,
but
like for me, the coolest part about this movie is it's the introduction of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And I love Hawkeye. I think
Hawkeye's pretty
Hawkeye's
good.
cool. Hawkeye, low
That
key,
was-
my
I
favorite
forgot about
Avenger.
Hey,
but yeah.
hey.
He's my favorite. Avenger.
Every fight the Avengers have been in without Hawkeye, they've lost.
True, you're right.
very true, very true. So yeah, I can go see
She's yeah.
All right, now Captain America.
Captain America.
I vividly remember as a kid thinking this movie was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Looking at it back now, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I really enjoyed Captain America.
I don't know if it's A tier though.
I'd
It's-
give
it's
it
probably-
an A.
I'd put it in A,
I'd put it in A.
low A, but I'd put it in A.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's get it, man.
I'm
Honestly, I think all of the Captain America movies are pretty solid.
Maybe because I'm a sucker for like war movies,
Yeah.
but
I would actually say we're not there yet. I don't want to talk about the other ones yet. But yeah, Captain America. It was the first introduction of Captain America. Like I said, going back to he showed his backstory, his transformation, what he became. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just good story. Could have hit. You know, I know. It's a 50-50 thing. You know, that's like
Yeah.
with all the movies, right?
for all the movies.
Well,
This is my
I feel like
opinion.
this one also feels like the most like it's setting up like stuff
yeah.
because like you know Bucky dies.
Yeah.
Dies, which leads to him being the Winter Soldier later on. You know, the end credit. I think it's the end credits, or it's like the final scene in the movie. He wakes up in modern day New York to set
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
the eventual Avengers movie. Which
I
they
had
do
a
periodically.
date.
Yeah, it's like there's cool things in this movie.
Yeah.
That
Red Skull.
Red
which leads
Skull.
to-
Red
Yeah.
Skull. Yeah,
Ah.
so like Infinity War. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it feels like this Captain America movie really
It was
set
the
up
start.
a
It was
lot
the
of
start
stuff.
of you know the MCU.
And they're not. It's not on this list, and I wouldn't put it. But like, it also kickstarts the Agent Carter series.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and then I think parts of Agents of Shield eventually. Well, that's after the Avengers. But
that's
like,
after. Yeah.
But like you get it feels like it does more for like the actual.
That's why. Yeah.
For the world.
For the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would put it.
Which is hilarious because this also takes like 1930s, 1940s.
Yeah, this is during World War II.
Yeah.
So,
So,
it's like 1940s. I don't know. I'm not a history buff as much as I
so
used to.
chronologically, it actually goes first.
We're not gonna rank it like that.
I know.
Anyway, we got the first Avengers movie.
First Avengers movie.
Honestly,
to me, what's your opinion first?
I don't think it's S. I really don't. I don't really know. No, I think there is a S tier Avengers movie. I don't think it's this one.
You don't think it's this one?
I don't think it. I like it a lot.
Out of all the Avengers movies, you believe that this is not.
This might.
You have a reason?
I think this might be better than like Age of Ultron, but I also think Age of Ultron does a lot more of like world building. I feel like this doesn't like, in terms of like the grand scheme of the MCU. I know we're trying not to do that, but like in terms of like the whole MCU, I feel like this it does a lot, but it also doesn't forward a whole lot. Because like when you look at Age of Ultron, you know they mention that's what kicks off like Civil War and stuff, like the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it was happening. They mention Wakanda, which eventually brings in Black Panther. You know,
Well, see, and I like Age of Ultron for that, but as a movie, I don't like it. I like this more than Age of Ultron.
so where would
I
you
know
put
this.
the first Avengers?
Oh.
Because I don't think it's
Well,
S. It's definitely
well,
A.
I don't know.
I would say at least A.
Because the Avengers also kind of introduces Thanos.
Yeah, the
and it's your
Push.
first glimpse into them, like, you know, the whole Avengers Assemble. It's the whole, like, what you're seeing. You know, I got that whole comic book stuff, like, right when, you know, in the fights. And
look, if it's not S, at least give it an A.
yeah, I know. But
Well, Vic,
is
do you-
it A above Iron Man?
No, I like the Avengers better than Iron Man.
I do too.
Yeah.
So do you? Oh, here's the thing. I am fine with putting it at S if you both think it should be an S. Because I'm also of the opinion, like, this is like the first big thing to happen.
Yeah.
In the MCU. Like, this is the thing where everything was culminating together. But like before Infinity War, before Endgame, this was like the first big thing to happen.
Oh yeah.
So like, I'm totally fine with putting it in an S if you guys want to put it.
yeah,
In S.
S is fine.
Yeah.
'Cause again,
cool.
to me, it's a good movie. It's just I don't know if it's S tier for me, but like, I'm not saying it's not S tier at all. So if you guys want to put it in S tier, we can put it in S tier.
I think S tier, as far as I got to go backpedal on what I said earlier. And I have to look at it like that, because if not, then I'm probably going to rank a lot of movies really low. So, but as a helping build the world, I mean, it's the first, it's our first glimpse into what the MCU is going to be. I think it belongs in either high A or S. So
All right. Up next, we got Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. This was
I think it's C tier, honestly.
I was gonna say B.
This
or C,
is,
but
this
yeah.
is- yeah.
I do not like the Mandarin as a character.
Worse than Thor. I'll let you choose that one.
Yes.
Well,
Because
here's the thing. Are we moving it like that, or are we just doing
Oh,
it?
we can
do
just
that.
Yeah,
we can
whatever.
do that.
We can change it later. Whatever.
The only thing I really like about Iron Man 3, because like I don't like the Mandarin. I really don't like that Rhodey's the Iron Patriot. Because they hone in like, oh, you're a government person, and it's like that's not the whole point of like what Iron Man was like supposed to be.
Yep.
Like the only like real parts I actually kind of like are with Tony and the kid. I forget his name.
oh yeah, that kid. That kid was.
And
pretty
there's,
good.
there's a line in the movie where he's like talking to the kid. He's like, "Hey, you got any parents?" He's like, "Oh, my mom's working, and my dad went to go get some scratch offs. I guess he won because he hasn't." And then Tony being Tony, he's just like, "Yeah, well, life stuff, you know." Yeah. So like, there's funny things in the movie, but like that shouldn't like carry the movie. I probably would say it's worse than Thor.
This is because I mean nothing really happens in that movie.
Yeah, it doesn't really further anything. This is like his last movie, and it just kind of like
other than the Mandarin, who then comes out in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, but that's not the Mandarin.
I know, but
Mandarin,
that's what I'm saying, right? Like the actor.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the only thing, and he's not.
the only like there's elements that I do like, but I don't think that they're enough to like justify me like enjoying the movie. Like I do like the fact that Tony does have like PTSD from like trying to save the world, from like, you know, and that's a thing that they bring up throughout the movie. Like the little kid's like, "How did you like do that thing?"
Yeah.
And like Tony starts having like panic attacks, and like that's a neat little thing to do. But I don't know, as the movie as a whole, I don't think like justifies those tiny little good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I think this is one of the movies where I can say you can probably skip it and it won't change the story of as a whole.
That's one
for
of the reasons
MCU.
I think it belongs in C, is because it doesn't do anything to
for the
add to the universe.
for the overall plot.
Yeah.
Which
And I mean,
is
it has to do that a little bit.
which is unfortunate because you know.
Well,
It can't stand on its own. It really
Yeah,
can't. It's
it
not.
really
It's
can't.
not that great of a movie. So
anyway, we got next is Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World.
I think this movie's boring as shit.
C. I'll give it a C.
Well, it
just
has
because
to
it's the
go-
lowest one.
No, it's better.
No,
it's better
no.
than Iron Man 3.
But,
John. It's better than Iron Man 3. Like
Better?
I know
It
it's
is better.
Worse.
It's better than Iron Man 3. Are you saying it's better than or worse than Iron Man 3?
I think it's better than Iron Man 3.
I did. That's why I
The
put it up.
Dark World.
That's why I put it there.
Oh no, I meant Iron Man 3 is better than.
Other way. It's
Oh,
worse.
okay,
The
okay,
word
okay.
you're looking for
Yeah.
is worse. Look, no shade at this movie,
Go ahead.
but even the MCU thought nobody's watched this movie
Yeah,
because then they give a synopsis in a later Avengers movie. It's like when even the creators are saying, "Yeah,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that movie more than Thor 1.
I'm not saying it's bad,
I don't know.
but it's
skippable.
skippable.
It's skippable.
dude.
It is skippable.
It's like
Like the
yeah.
only thing it really does for the MCU is the
the ether.
the ether, which is eventually
The reality.
Yeah, the reality.
Sure, it becomes out to the reality stone. But
But other
how
than that,
I
it's
just said it doesn't stand on its own. Like for Iron Man 3, like I've watched Iron Man 3 one time.
Yeah.
I've watched Thor 2 maybe 8 or 9 times already. I enjoyed the movie. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I have watched this movie in clips.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's like cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't add to
It
anything.
doesn't
I get
really.
it. I
Yeah,
get
it doesn't
I get
really
it.
add
To be
much.
fair, in terms of like the early MCU
I
movies,
still believe.
to me, the Thor movies are like the most rough. Before they get to Ragnarok, the first two are like they're hard to watch, and like I feel like they
I
also
get it.
understood that, and that's why they shifted to like the style that they're doing for now.
Yeah,
Whether you like
Lot-
that or
lot
not,
of
that's
comedy,
a different.
Yeah.
Whether you like that or not, that's a different story or whatever. You teach their own. But yeah, those first two, they're kind of rough.
they're kind
Like,
of. Now we're not saying they're bad.
yeah, if you like them, like John,
Yeah.
we're not saying you're wrong. We're just saying that me and Vic.
Well, not them. I like Thor 2. I like Thor 2 better than Thor 1. I still believe it's in C, but I think it's better than the other.
Sure.
But whatever. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, right? We can move Thor
That's
1.
neither here.
We can
nor
move
here
Thor
nor
1 behind. Yeah,
there.
we
There
can
we
do
go.
that.
You good with that? I'm good with that. I don't know if he's good with that.
Because I will say,
To me, they're equal parts boring.
Okay, whatever.
The only thing, like I said, the only thing that Thor 1 has going for me is Hawkeye.
I mean, we can put it. We can put
Yeah,
it.
put Thor 1 above.
all right.
We
There.
can do that.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
There.
fine. That's fine.
All right, next we got Winter Soldier.
Oh, I like this
This, for me, this is S tier. I think this is a great movie. I know John doesn't like it.
I cannot stand Winter Soldier.
John
It is
hates
one of my
this movie.
worst movies.
I
don't
love
like
it. I love this
Don't
movie
like
so
it.
much.
I don't know why. It wasn't appealing. It was.
Oh.
So this is gonna be a fight for.
I don't mind it. Look. Okay, so what? Why is it S tier?
Because I really like the dynamic between him and Bucky. I really do. I think that there's that strong friendship, and I think Steve knows that, but he also understands that he's a threat and that he has to kind of like deal with it. But there's that part of him that's like, well, he's my friend. I need to save him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that kind of like dynamic between the two
It
that I really
also
enjoy.
introduces Hydra back as the undercover thing that Shield was taking over.
It does, and it's very. Okay, you know what? I'll go.
It also introduces the Falcon.
It also introduces the Falcon.
I'll go with you into S because not just the Hydra thing, but like out of all the shows, MCU shows, Marvel shows, my favorite Marvel show is Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield. Yeah,
And this one
it really
ties in a lot
it
of
really colors over like
and so
huh.
yeah, so I get it. I can go
yeah,
to S. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
like,
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the Captain America movies are just used for world building, and
Which
really
is fine.
and which really shifts a lot of stuff around.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
dude,
whoa.
Civil War is only about the Sokovia Accords, and that's it.
Yeah,
Like it's who's right, who's wrong, and like that's it.
And it had a lot of characters, and they get to fight, and you get to go, oh,
and Spider-Man's in it,
yeah.
and that was a big
Yeah,
deal
yeah,
when that
yeah.
happened.
oh, and Wanda.
Wanda, yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, up next, Guardians #1.
Oh
number
my
one.
god,
This is to me. This is also
movie.
S tier.
Yeah,
it is
this
S tier.
movie's
S
there.
tier.
yeah. I
Like-
don't think we need to explain why.
Like
No,
Honestly-
this movie was
the Guardians as a whole, solid lineup of movies.
Solid
Yeah.
trilogy.
Like there's one, like the second one that's like lower than the other two,
But it's still
but
high.
it's still like it's still
pretty
at least.
high.
I would say it's like low A, probably high B for me.
Yeah, because it would be. Yeah, for me it would be Guardians 1, then Guardians 3, then Guardians 2. Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah,
we were talking
we're
about
not there
maybe
yet, man.
the other way around.
yeah, because Guardians 3 is really good.
Guardians
Like
is
I really
really
like
good.
Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But we
Or
yeah.
maybe 3, 1, 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 1
yeah,
3
yeah.
1 2 1
we'll
3 2.
get there when we get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not there yet.
So anyway, next we got Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
This I don't think it's bad, but I don't think
it's bad.
I think it's B. It's
High
like a
B.
B. I can be convinced for it to be an A too, but we can do B.
because it's like
I've seen it a couple of times. It's okay.
well, because
It
like
does add to the world.
Yeah.
yeah, because like this is also it's like because there's a lot to add because like it brings in Wanda, Quicksilver, Vision, the idea of Captain America being worthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's teased here,
It's teased.
which is like a big deal.
Wow.
They introduced the idea of Wakanda,
Mind Stone.
the Mind Stone.
Mind
Yeah,
Stone, yeah.
Man, this might be
This
A
movie,
tier.
this movie.
This might be A tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
honestly-
it's like you
Honestly,
could
Ultron
convince me.
Ultron as a villain, besides him being a little
No.
like too sensual.
I
No,
love-
that was great.
I loved his design.
Yeah.
Dude. I was
Um,
like, yes.
God, who played him? Was it James Spader? Not James Spader.
I can look
Okay.
it up.
Anyways, I really like the actor who voiced.
He was really
it's,
good.
it's a real good. It's a real good
Really
voice.
good.
Very, very snarky, condescending kind of guy.
I'm sitting
I
here
really
saying earlier that Ultron was kind of man, but no, it was.
No, he was
I'm remembering it. Ultron was pretty good.
James Spader.
James Spader, right? Yeah. Freaking
Yeah,
loved it
no,
on
no.
Twitter.
I think we convinced ourselves. I don't know. I don't think it's better than like Iron Man or Captain America.
No, but it's
But
It's
pretty
definitely
good.
A tier. It's for
Pretty
sure.
good.
All right, Ant-Man. Honestly, this is.
I can give it an.
I don't know. I
I used to give it S, but I realistically I think it's an A.
I can give it an A.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like, there was a period of time when a lot of these like introduction movies were like really really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I feel like as time has gone on, they kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
But like this one, Guardians, and when we eventually were two
But
spots away.
do you rate it as it's fallen off because of time, or do you rate it as, hey, when it came out, it added to the MCU?
No, I meant like it's fallen off like when they introduce other people. Like when somebody gets their first standalone movie.
Oh,
So like
okay,
when a
okay.
Captain Marvel shows up, or
Yeah,
when a Shang-Chi comes up. Even though I think we'll get to
yeah, we'll get to that.
it. But Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man's at least an A.
Yeah.
This movie is really really good.
It's
Yeah,
really
it is.
good.
I
It's
really
really,
like
really
the idea of, or not the idea, but like Yellow Jacket as like a villain.
It's so
Um,
cool.
He just like to sit. He just turns a guy into like goop,
Yeah,
and,
What was
and
it?
he didn't mean to do it too. He's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah,
Or what was the guy's name? Or something like that.
something like that. And he's like, can you clean it up? And he just gets a little rag. It's a funny movie. And Paul Rudd,
great.
I think Paul Rudd does an amazing
Alright.
job.
What was it? Luis Peña's in that one too?
Yes,
yes.
So good.
he's so funny.
so
Yep.
funny, dude.
Like, I like the dynamic between him and his daughter. It feels very genuine.
Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie Lang.
It does.
It's great.
Even the dynamic between him and Hank Pym. You know, like the struggling mentor trying to get through to this like criminal.
them just talking.
Yeah, it's funny. And then it's also one of the. But right before I guess they do Civil War, the first time we actually see two heroes I guess fight each other. Besides I guess in like the Avengers movies,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because he fights Falcon,
yeah.
which that sets up him being in Civil War. Because
Yeah.
like you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I definitely think Ant-Man's at least A tier,
A
Yeah.
tier.
low A, but it's still up there.
It's pretty good.
All right, so we have
Civil
War.
Civil War.
So it's not a bad movie. They had all the potential in the world to make a really good movie with the source material,
Mhm.
but you also have to take into account they were dealing with what they had or what they could do, I should say.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it kind of falls a little flat. Other than like Spider-Man being in it, which is awesome. I think it's like a fine movie. I really do. I think it's just fine. Like it's definitely rewatchable. I would definitely watch it if somebody's like, "Hey, you want to watch Civil War?" Okay.
for me, it's around A and B.
I'd say B. I wouldn't
I would-
put it in A.
I would put
I
it.
don't know, but like it's like
I would
somewhere-
put it high
somewhere
B.
High B.
High B?
I think high B is
That
fair.
B's good. Better than Hulk.
Yeah.
Better than Hulk.
I'd say B because of potential,
Potential.
but
Well, yeah, because like you have to look at the comics, right? But they couldn't do the comic thing because
course
of
they
where
couldn't.
the MCU was at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah,
but in that sense, then should it have even been made?
yes.
I mean,
you
you could make that argument, right?
Because well, I mean, if they
Well,
were not in
the problem with that is if you wait for everything to then play out, it's gonna be years
course.
before they
Yeah,
even
yeah.
make it.
Well, it's
right?
also the stories are kind of different because like you look at the comics, I
the
believe.
stories are completely
Yeah,
different. I mean, it's not-
the whole point of the comic version was like hero identities just need to be known.
yeah,
Like you just need to know them. The problem with the MCU is like identities are just known. Like that was the
Yeah.
thing. Like when they kickstarted, it's
Yeah.
like we're not having secret identities. We're just doing. Everybody knows who everybody is, apart from like Spider-Man.
yeah.
Everybody knows who everybody is. So they then have to pivot to who should be in charge of dealing with
Yeah.
the Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the whole point of the movie is. Like, hey, we
Yep.
need to be put in check. That's what Tony's fighting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he realizes that there is collateral damage.
Which fair,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a fair
Yeah.
thing to
fair
do.
thing to say, but also. I also see Cap's point of view where it's like, well, like if we're just stuck behind bureaucracy, all we're gonna do is work for the man,
Well,
right? Which I also see.
Well, and that's kind of like, again, going off topic. That's kind of the point of the new Captain America movie, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't want to be a government shill.
Yeah.
He wants no, government oversight. He wants to just be an Avenger. He wants to be the hero for just anybody. He doesn't want to be tied down to anything. And that's kind of like the point of Civil War, the movie. It's like, should somebody be in charge of us, or should we have no oversight? But if we don't have oversight, bad things can happen. So like,
Yeah.
when do we be the heroes and when don't we?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the thing they have to like struggle to figure out. And like who's right, who's wrong. The battle of ideologies. That being said, before we move on, were you guys Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Oh,
Cap.
Yeah, I would say I was
100%
Team
Cap.
Cap.
yeah,
100%.
Team Cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his way of thinking is right. Going back to what Vic said, I understand why Tony was the way he was, because you can relay that to like the PTSD that he was getting from Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
He understands the kind of like the cataclysm of the things that he does and how it can impact the rest of the world. And like one of the first thing that happens in that Civil War is they're in Sokovia, right? It's literally Sokovia, where Wanda's trying to like stop the bombs or whatever, and it goes off and she starts tears down the building or whatever, and that has like a really big like mental break for her. She's like, oh my god, I did this. We do need to be checked, and
until they lock her up.
Yeah. So like I said, I think the idea
Lock her
as
up,
a whole is a decent idea. I just don't know if it's executed very well, because this is also Black Panther's first introduction too. Like it's Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Spider-Man was handled decently well. But I feel like they might have maybe could have done more with Black Panther.
Yeah.
In terms of like establishing him, because like they don't really give you backstory for Spider-Man and Peter Parker, because like you don't need to. You know? It's the reason they never wanted to do an origin story for him in the MCU, because everybody knows Spider-Man. Everybody knows he gets his powers from being bitten by a spider. Uncle Ben dies. He turns into a superhero. Like it's the same formula that they've been going with.
Into the Spider-Verse makes the same exact joke.
But like
yeah,
there might be people who don't know Black Panther that maybe want that context, and they kind of establish it, but they don't. Yeah. They're like, hey, T'Challa's father was the Black Panther at one point.
Yeah.
And now T'Challa also has the power,
Mhm.
and he's just the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool,
Yeah. Well, that's probably why they also gave him a movie.
Well, yeah, well, eventually that was gonna be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall as a whole, it's definitely a rewatchable movie. Like I would go home right now and rewatch this movie. But for me, it's just high B. I don't know if I can put it in A. If I did put it in A, it would be at the bottom of A. But I really do think B is probably where it deserves to be.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. But Doctor Strange is the next one. That's an S tier movie.
Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange. That
Doctor
movie
Strange was amazing.
That
First
movie is probably the best introduction of a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the MCU.
You get all his facets.
Yeah. They explain who he is as a person before he turns into Strange. They give you reasons why he stays Strange or stays using sorcery and all that afterwards. They show you him training and like him still being arrogant while having to learn. Him
With
not
attitude,
really him not wanting to be a sorcerer because he just wants to heal himself because he wants to get back to the life that he was.
Yep.
It's such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Granted, I will say this. The ending, the end credits, I say, doesn't lead anywhere.
No.
Like they don't do anything with that, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
But the movie as a whole is really good.
It's really good.
Like I sometimes from time to time I'll go, Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
I've come to
Like
bargain.
that, like, and that's such a insane way to destroy or beat a villain, is just to annoy him into repetition. Like it's so funny. And I actually like I don't remember the villain's name, but the fact that he was a sorcerer.
Caecilius?
Yeah, Caecilius. Is that Caecilius? Yeah, Caecilius.
Caecilius.
And he started doing the dark arts, and he's just falling, and he just wants to be this overbearing power. It's also the introduction of the time stone, which is probably the coolest stone.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then what's the lady's name?
The ancient one?
Yeah, the ancient one. It's literally just the ancient one.
They never say her name.
Yeah, but she's also a cool character.
Yeah.
And then they put her in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yep.
And basically it's hey, I know everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If Strange is saying that this is the course that you need to be on, then he's right.
Yeah.
And she just has full faith in him. And it's like that for the entire movie. She never doesn't believe in him or believe that he doesn't have good intentions.
Yeah.
She understands that he will follow the path of what is right. And that's eventually what he does. Yeah, this movie is S tier.
It's really good.
Honestly, if we're moving movies, it's above. I'd probably put it above. This might be the top of S tier.
Top of S
Either
tier.
either the top of S tier or right below the Avengers.
Okay.
You think we should put Guardians above Avengers?
Oh yeah.
Guardians above Avengers.
Yeah. I think Guardians should be right below. Yeah, sometime. There we go.
And then I think we keep Avengers where it's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doctor Strange. It might be the best MCU movie ever. I don't want to say that because like I would need to rewatch some of these,
Yeah,
but it's so good.
it's really good.
I left the theater being very satisfied.
It's a good mix of like comedy and action.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh God. So I cannot sing its praises
Yeah.
enough. But anyway, we must move on. So next is Guardians 2. I believe that's Guardians 2, correct?
Guardians
Yeah, Guardians
Yeah.
2.
Guardians 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. The worst of the three, but not bad.
Not bad.
A, B.
Is it better than Civil War though?
I think it's better than Civil War.
Yeah.
I would say it's better than Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
So definitely low A.
Low A.
You also get introduced to Mantis in this movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then you have Quill's dad being oh my god, what's his name?
Oh,
Not the character name, but the actual like.
oh,
the
actor
actor's name.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
He was Santa.
Yeah, I keep thinking of I keep wanting to say David Hasselhoff, but it's not. Even
No,
though David Hasselhoff is in the
he
movie.
was in the movie. He was in the movie.
He was in the movie.
What was his name?
Oh my god, it's gonna bug me. But I like him. I like him as a character. Kind of being like this all powerful entity, but he's just a huge asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's literally just
Kurt
like
Russell.
Kurt
Kurt
Russell.
Russell.
Jesus.
He's
Like,
Ego the Living Planet.
yeah.
Yes.
It like honestly, ego. He has a big ego.
Yeah.
He's just this guy and this all powerful being, but he's just like this really crappy dad
Just the
Yeah.
dad.
who killed Peter Quill's mom.
He's like a deadbeat dad. But
Yeah.
like way
He's the
worse.
worst.
Really horrible deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat.
Yeah.
But
And it had one of the
but
coolest
here's-
endings.
No, but here's the thing, right? He's such a deadbeat dad. Then you look at oh my god, what's his name? The
Yeah.
Mohawk.
Yeah.
Oh, Yandu.
Yondu. And you look at the dichotomy of ego and Yondu,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, Yondu, he's the dad.
No.
he's the real
It's-
one.
In that
Yeah.
movie, he says the
Yeah.
line is like, he may be your father, but
He
he
ain't
wasn't,
your
but he
daddy."
wasn't your daddy.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's what I'm
dude.
saying. That ending of that movie was so
So
great
great.
because of that. I
Yeah.
was just like,
And then he saves Quill,
Yeah.
and then they give him the the Ravenger like
yeah, the
little thing salute,
Oh,
whatever.
the send off.
Yeah, the send off,
send-off.
which is it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely. I talked myself into A.
yeah.
A tier. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Mary Poppins cool?
Hell yeah,
The
he's
coolest. Oh man, that movie's awesome, dude. I love that movie. All right, so what do we got? We got Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna be real. Besides Far From Home, No Way Home,
No Way Home.
and even then you can bank No Way Home on just like nostalgia. I don't know if any of the Spider-Man movies are like coming out of like A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like this is the unfortunate thing about a lot of these Spider-Man movies. They're Spider-Man movies, but he never feels like the main point.
I mean, if we're being honest, like highest, if you were bringing up the other movies, we can get to that when we get to that. But I would rank No Way Home the highest, and even that I wouldn't put in S tier. So like 1 and 2, or the 1, right? You know,
Yeah, I
Homecoming is going to be for me. Is going to be like a B tier. I mean, maybe it could be high B, but I don't believe it's just it's an okay movie. Seen it like once or twice,
Yeah.
and didn't add anything to didn't do anything, wasn't anything special.
and this has been my problem with these Spider-Man movies from the MCU. He's Spider-Man mostly because he's just in the suit. I don't feel he actually understands. And
Yeah.
you can make the argument of like that's the point of these movies. He's learning to try to be Spider-Man.
Sure.
But
Uh,
when you've already established that he's been Spider-Man for a little bit, and you skip over the whole like with great power comes great responsibility thing.
well,
he
they
should-
don't skip over it.
Well, they just don't. They don't tell you.
Right.
Well, yeah, because I get what
I
you're
understand.
saying.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
you're like, well, he doesn't really get that talk until you
Yeah.
know. But which we'll get to that when we get to that.
But again, it's like when you said when he was first introduced in Civil War, we don't need backstory from him because he's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
So you're going into it assuming that
That-
he knows everything, and
Yeah.
he knows how to be Spider-Man, and he knows how to.
I
it's
think
not
I
just
think the
him
problem
learning
with
stuff.
I think the problem with MCU Spider-Man is that they brought him in so early, and when I mean so early, like he is Spider-Man, but he hasn't been doing it very long.
yeah,
Like I think at the beginning of this movie, I think he's only been Spider-Man not even a year.
yeah,
Like he's still learning how to do it, but like, he's kind of like Tony Stark's pet project. They're giving him like the suit, and
Yeah.
they're kind of just like he's kind of like babying him, but like not.
Yeah.
That's why he.
Well, he's still a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah. Peter,
so-
Peter's trying to be the rebellious kid.
Which made it weird for me in Civil War because he was already much older and he'd already been Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah.
And so but yes,
I would put
know.
I would put this
can't-
at probably at the top of B, maybe below Civil War.
I think below Civil War.
Below Civil War. That's fair.
And again, we want to reiterate, just because we're putting things in certain spots does not mean that they're bad movies.
Yeah.
We're just looking at them as
We
a
said
whole.
we like
Yeah,
we
this
even like.
is,
I mean,
this is the list,
Yeah.
not
Like, here's the thing. Most of these movies are watchable.
yeah.
It's just, are you going to watch them again?
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing.
right.
And speaking of watching again, we have, was
Oh.
it Thor Ragnarok?
My
Ragnarok.
favorite Thor movie.
Yep. Mine too.
It's probably the best Thor movie.
Thor movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you get two stinkers and then you get Ragnarok, man, is it night and day.
When you get what?
Two stinkers of movies. in Thor.
Oh, then yeah.
And then you get Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It also has one of my favorite people in the world,
Yep.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
He plays
Yeah.
such a good character.
He is awesome.
That's going up there.
Well, you'd put it in S?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's the best Thor movie.
it is the best. You know what?
I've watched this Thor movie more than I have watched most other
Do
movies.
you agree with him?
Yes. This Thor
Because here's the
movie.
thing. I will give you guys S tier if you really want an S tier.
If not, then it at least has to be the highest in A.
I think it's better
For
than
me.
Iron Man.
Better than Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd probably watch it over. I'll
That's what
agree.
I'm going by.
We'll do S tier. And then we got, was it Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah, Black
Panther
Panther.
2?
It's Black Panther 1.
Oh, that's the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's
Black
the first
Panther one.
I'm blind.
I
liked it. It was
yeah,
okay.
it's a good movie.
It's a movie.
I would put it in A tier, honestly.
I can't argue with that.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I really like the idea that they go with
Secret Society.
well, not even the Secret Society, but like the how they portray T'Challa after his father has died, and how they use Killmonger as like a way of like kind of like letting T'Challa realize like, hey, maybe the way that we're doing things isn't right. Because
Yeah.
one of the things in the movie is like, hey, he wants to open up Wakanda to the world.
Oh, right.
Which
right,
by
right.
the end of the movie he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of that would have happened if he didn't realize like, hey, Killmonger was one of us. We kind of shut him out because
Mhm.
we kind of didn't want him, or like we wouldn't have accepted him.
Yeah.
And
No, it wasn't.
I think Killmonger is a very credible villain.
It wasn't even that. It's just that his dad did something.
Yeah.
Which would then, for some reason, then meant that he was blocked off as well, just because he was related to him.
Yeah, like I think the overall story is really good. Honestly, I would put it above Guardians 2.
Yeah.
I think Guardians 2 is not as good as Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better than Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man's really good.
Ant-Man's really good.
But I definitely think it's better than Guardians 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah,
can
go
agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll move on. We got Infinity War.
Ah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
What?
It's
Yeah.
a good movie.
Well, I hear a butt coming.
No, it's not. There's no but. I really like the idea of like all these characters finally coming together and like
Yeah.
doing stuff. To me the biggest travesty, and I'm not going to put it fully on this movie. I will probably put it more on the sequel. But I really don't like how they portray the Hulk.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's a part of me
That's one of the biggest parts, the biggest crap outs.
like there's a part of me that like I get it because he was fighting Thanos, but he didn't even have all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that Hulk is on par with Thanos, who has like a couple stones, but I don't think he should have been that beat up about it personally. And then they like eventually when they get to Endgame, it's like all the character progression that probably should have been done throughout the movie, this movie, it's all off screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the Incredible Hulk is like he gets shafted so much.
In the MCU in
In the
general.
MCU, he's always playing second fiddle to somebody else's story.
I remember when the movie first came out, and it was just watching that first opening scene. It was just like, it was so unbelievable. Well, you know what you said. Thanos didn't have the stones, all of the stones.
Yeah,
and,
I think at this point he has what the power
and the Hulk couldn't do anything to him. It was just like wow, this is very, I don't know. It's kind of not really disheartening, but it's like what's going to happen in the future, and we end up seeing, right? The Hulk does
Professor
not
Hulk.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Hulk.
Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
That's the character's name.
But yeah, that's
But yeah, there's
one of my biggest gripes.
there's elements that I do. I do like the dynamic of Tony Stark with the Guardians
Yes.
because they're polar opposites,
Yes.
and it's funny to see.
There were a lot of good
And
things
with
about
Strange.
the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's with,
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Oh, that was-
Are we using our made up names?
The battle of egos.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then dude,
Yo,
and then there's the part
yeah, I just got.
when it's Tony and Peter and they're trying to come up with a plan. He's like, "All right, have you seen that really old movie Aliens?"
Yeah. Listen, there were a lot of good parts, a lot of
It was
funny
good,
parts.
yeah.
It was just
It was
it wasn't
great.
as good as the first one.
This
So,
also
I mean,
has
that's-
the coolest version of Captain America.
okay.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
Steve
he-
Rogers in this movie is a badass.
Yeah,
He is so cool.
Okay.
yeah.
I am
Yeah.
Groot.
Oh,
I am Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers. Oh, that scene where Captain America and Black Panther are just running ahead of the whole army.
Yeah.
that was badass,
When who?
dude.
Captain
Like,
America.
when they're
Oh
just
yeah,
booking it, I'm
that
like,
is
yes,
that was so
they're
great.
super soldiers. They're supposed to do
They're
that.
supposed to do that crap.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I was so hyped during that part of the
Yeah,
movie.
this is
It was
also
like, oh my
the
God.
introduction of Thor's new hammer, Stormbreaker. Yeah, and it's just like
And,
And-
Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage,
Yeah, Peter Dinklage. And then when
Yeah.
Thor finally comes back to Earth on Wakanda,
Yep.
he just like destroys everybody and
Ah.
everything.
Yep.
Like and honestly, like probably the most iconic thing to happen in the MCU, the snap.
Oh yeah.
Like I can't think
Yeah.
besides maybe Tony's that snap when it happens,
so good.
everyone goes silent.
Oh,
in the
you
theater.
should have gone for the head.
Yeah.
Snap, and it's just that's it.
It's over.
And then one by one,
He wins.
People start like dying.
So with all that being said, where would you put it?
Ooh.
Because the more you talked about it, the more it got me hyped up, and the more I wanted
Yeah.
to just raise it a little higher. Because
Yeah.
at first I was gonna go low A, but now I'm thinking high A.
I can be convinced for a high A,
I
maybe an S if you remind me of
Better,
one more cool thing.
no, but now like I'm thinking about it and watching it back. I mean, reliving it.
Well then here's the idea I'll pitch to you. Do you think Infinity War is better than Endgame?
Ooh.
Because I think whether or not you say yes or no will depend on if this is S tier or not.
I don't. Ooh.
No. Endgame is better.
Because for me, there are high points in both of those movies.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
emotional points.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like what hits you harder? The Avengers losing and then realizing that losing, like that they lost, and you have to wait because you got to remember there was a year gap in between these movies.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah.
entire year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like was the snap like having to wait to find out, hey, what's going on with all these characters? Is that wait going into Endgame?
No, I think Endgame hits harder. I think Endgame.
The payoff on Endgame.
But you're not even just a payoff, but like just everything that they go through as far as to like.
Oh, in Endgame, I actually shed some tears.
That's actually well. See, I can't say that either because I cried when Peter's like, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go.
Oh yeah, no, that was bad. That was pretty. That
That
was
was
pretty
bad.
hard.
But I
Why?
can make the argument of Peter crying when Tony dies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, them, God, am I thinking correct? Right, like, Scott showing up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have to do this, and we're.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the traveling through time stuff. All those
well, yeah,
parts
because like
were really,
there's
really
elements.
great.
Steve has to go back in time and he sees Peggy, and that's
Mhm.
kind of the thing that makes him think, hey, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I
Yeah.
don't want to be a superhero. And he goes back and he stays with Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony has this thing with his dad.
Yep.
And then the thing we were talking about earlier, Red Skull.
Red Skull. Yeah, he showed up on this
Tony
one
as a
too.
kid that he has to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
that conversation he had with his dad.
Yeah.
That one was really good too.
Oh,
This is
really
also the Endgame. Wanda, Black Widow dies,
That's
You know,
right.
and then you get a you also get a really much cooler version of Hawkeye.
Oh, Ronan.
Ronan,
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah, Ronan.
That's
True.
true.
You get the badass version of
You get the
Hawkeye.
badass version of Ronan.
But even in the first, Infinity War, you have Gamora. Thanos just throws her.
Yeah.
He sacrifices her. But there's also that like
Those good-
parental bond.
Yeah.
But
He's
and then
crying while he's doing it.
and then that's the that's the thing that gets Peter to break him. And that because when you think about it, a lot of this was Peter's fault
yes,
because he couldn't keep his emotions.
Mr.
in check.
Quill.
Yeah.
Mr. Quill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter Quill. I should reiterate because there's two Peters.
Star Lord.
Star Lord.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess now is it S tier?
Well, okay. It's below Endgame because Now, whether you want to put Endgame in S tier or not.
Sure.
Okay, so when we just talked about both freaking movies now.
Yeah.
They all have their things that that are going
like
for them great.
The points.
But if I really look at it just like, hey, what made the movies for me? Endgame for the end fight with Captain America grabbing the hammer.
Yeah.
Just beats out all
I forgot
of
him
Infinity War.
lifting the hammer.
Yeah. Well, it's
and
like
fighting and beating Thanos' butt
shit.
with ass.
That's the thing, right? There's so much payoff. There's the payoff to that, and I think for me the thing that would bump it up into S tier, it's Tony's last line is the final line from the first movie. I am Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Oh,
Snap.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the last thing he
Yeah.
says before he
yeah.
dies.
Yep.
That's powerful.
That is powerful.
That is such a big, huge deal, and him dying, he was the guy to kickstart everything.
He was the guy.
So for him to be gone now,
So are we saying Infinity War high A
I don't know about you guys. Do you guys?
or S?
I'm fine with high A.
Here's the thing. I'm fine with putting them both in S tier.
Yeah, I'm both. I'm great with putting them both.
fuck
Because
it.
I think
Yeah.
we've made
Yeah.
differences for both.
We've
Yeah,
we have talked ourselves into it.
Yeah. Oh, man, they're so
I mean,
good.
we might as well put Endgame there.
Right here, right?
Yeah, might as well put Endgame.
Endgame's ahead of it.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right, we got. God, that was a long conversation.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That is a. I was. It was funny. I was gonna say B tier, but I was like, I think realistically it's a C.
No, it's a C.
I think it's a C tier.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be.
I'm watching it once.
I've
it's
watched it like 3
fine.
times, but I still believe it's a C.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there's not too much
I
that needs
mean,
to be
what
said
really
about Ant-Man and the
happens?
Wasp.
Just the end credits, right? Because nothing else really of importance happens in that.
I mean,
movie?
Ghost is in it, but like, Ghost isn't gonna be seen until
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
I was gonna say yeah.
That's such a big gap.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else, right?
Nothing of like substance, I would say.
Other than
But
the end credit.
well, I guess they find the mom in the quantum realm. They do
do find that she's
I
there,
guess.
that's right.
They
Yeah,
pull her
I
out of it,
guess. Yeah.
which is like a big deal.
So 3 things in that movie.
Yeah, but it's still.
But like you can also make the I guess like the notion of like if Scott did get stuck in the quantum realm, he wouldn't have come up with the idea
To go back in
to
time.
go back in time.
That's
True.
true.
But like you can't base the
the entire likable
likability of a movie
movie
well,
on
that's,
that.
that's what I'm saying. There's like 3 things in that movie.
Yeah.
It's the mom, Ghost, and the end credit scene where he gets stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
about
that,
that's
no,
about
C tier.
it.
Oh, but there's
That's-
also oh my god, what's his name? I only remember him as Asian Jim,
Oh, that
Oh,
guy.
Lord.
who also becomes a recurring character in the
Yeah,
MCU
yeah,
now.
yeah,
he was
yeah.
in
He
WandaVision.
does, he
He was just in
yeah.
is it just WandaVision? I might be getting confused with other series. He's definitely
think
he's
it's
definitely in a few
WandaVision.
things.
I've seen him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
No,
right.
it's still a C tier.
Yeah,
it's still.
I
a C
know,
tier.
but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's like,
No.
how'd you do it?
High C.
The card trick. How'd you do it?
Yeah.
And then he ends up learning the card trick
He learns
later
learning
on.
the card
It's-
trick. That's true.
character development.
Captain Marvel.
But yeah, no, that's a
Oh,
C tier.
Captain
Captain Marvel. I would honestly, it's better than the Marvels.
it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would say Captain Marvel is a B tier movie.
B. Yeah,
B,
I'm good with B.
low B.
I would put it. See, there's a part of me that's like I would put it above the Hulk.
Is it
I
better
think I
than
would put it
Spider
above the
Man?
Hulk.
No, I'd rather watch Spider Man.
So
But-
then,
but-
yeah. So right there's,
But I'd put it above the Hulk.
yeah,
Right there.
that's fair.
It was a good movie when it came out. I've
Yeah.
watched it 2 or 3 times. It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think it's good for what it's supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
which is like it's supposed to be like a past thing
Mhm.
to establish like, hey,
This
Uh,
person's
she's
here.
out there.
Yeah, she's out there.
Yeah.
doing
now
stuff,
she's gonna come in and do
It's
stuff.
an introduction.
Yeah. And obviously we just did Endgame, so we're not gonna redo Endgame.
We know what happens in Endgame. You know what happens. She
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so now we got Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Honestly, this is my least favorite
My
of
least
the
favorite.
3.
Yeah.
That being said, it's not bad.
I would say it's in B.
I would put it behind Captain Marvel, but above
Hulk.
the Hulk.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Like
fair.
it's definitely watchable. I like the idea of Mysterio in this movie.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
like taking advantage of Peter's vulnerability of like losing Tony and feeling like he's not good enough to be the
Yeah.
next Iron Man. Because that's the whole point of like Peter's story up until now. It's a coming of age story. He's trying to figure out who he is,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then once he stops being a person that exists in the world, he just has to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all that these movies are. It's establishing him being like this kid who's trying to figure it out.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's the one thing I do like is it's that it attacks his vulnerability. That was loud. You guys probably didn't hear it, but that was loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a B tier movie. I wouldn't put it anywhere else.
I feel good about that.
All right, so now we're finally getting into the shows. I believe that's WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Is it WandaVision? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, WandaVision.
Okay, so we will be doing this as a whole, obviously, because there's only one season. I think WandaVision. I think it's the. I could be convinced of bottom of A, but I feel like it's the top of B.
I think it's top of B.
top of B is fine. Yeah. The WandaVision was.
I've watched it once. I'm never gonna watch it again. It was okay.
It's all
Yeah, but
right.
It took me a long time
Honestly,
to
I feel like
watch
that's
it.
the
to
case
begin
with a lot of these
Yeah.
MCU shows. Because like even the best one, which is arguably Loki,
Loki.
I'd only watch it once.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I wouldn't rewatch any of these again. Besides Hawkeye, which I have already done.
Yeah.
I've seen Hawkeye. Spoiler: I really like Hawkeye. But yeah, it's fine. It being the first one,
Yeah.
I think it did a really good job of like establishing like, hey, the tones of which these shows can probably go.
Mhm.
I loved the aesthetic of like them doing like different eras of sitcoms and
Yeah.
stuff. That was really neat.
It also really puts into perspective her power.
Yeah.
Of like she can
Oh,
control
yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
It also establishes her sons, which would play more of a role, like more so in Agatha all along.
Which
well, I guess, and also in Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse
That's like
of Madness,
one
that's
of the
true.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before this, you didn't really get a grasp of her powers. You saw, she's
Yeah.
powerful, but
At
not-
the end of Endgame,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
kicking Thanos'
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
She was winning.
Yeah, and like I said, this it establishes Agatha as like this like really powerful witch that eventually they would get into like her own series. Vision, because like there's also they have the White Vision. I forget the actual name. I just call him White Vision.
Oh,
But I think he has like, but like I think he's also getting his own show eventually.
Wow.
Yeah, this actually
I
they,
didn't
they
know
actually do a few things that will eventually be paid off one day.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a show that was held back by setup.
Yeah.
Because that's all it really was. It was a setup show.
But yeah, that being said, top of B, I think it's
Top
fair.
of B's fine.
Right.
What
That's
about the
fair.
next one?
We got Captain America, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier.
Future Captain America.
I think there are elements
Spoiler
of this show that could be A. I do think it's a B tier show.
B tier show.
It could have been It could have been.
You probably
It could have been
You probably
high A.
could have made it a movie
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you really wanted to.
It didn't need some of the stuff. Half the shots in there didn't need to be in there. They could have explained things a lot faster.
Yeah. I like the comedy in here.
It
Maybe
was
just
good.
because
It
I
was-
like the actor who plays Bucky.
I didn't mind the story. The story of the show
story's
was
fine.
good, but it just
Yeah.
dragged on for too long, I think.
There's
Wanna
also
go-
there's also stuff that doesn't get paid off, or at least hasn't been paid off yet. Like oh my god, what's her name? Peggy Carter's granddaughter or something.
Oh, what's her name?
I don't remember, but anyway, like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
like at the end of the show, you realize like she's like a secret villain, and like that has yet to be paid off, and I don't know when it ever
Are
will.
we going bottom B?
No, seriously, I don't think it's that bad. I would rather watch this over like Captain Marvel,
But below.
but below
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Yeah, that's good. No.
Get away.
because again, there's elements of this show that I think are really good.
Yeah.
Like I really like the Bucky,
Yeah.
like Falcon dynamic. I like the idea of the
Zemo?
villains. Zemo's
Zemo's in
Zemo's
there?
dance, dude. He's in the club, dude. That's crazy.
Baron Zemo's great.
Was it Walker? Being the new Captain
You
America.
know what?
And he does that scene where he just bashes that guy, and he has the bloody shield. I remember when that scene happened, my jaw dropped. I did
Yeah.
not think they would
I
ever
didn't
go
think they
that,
were gonna-
that
yeah.
hard
Yep.
on anything ever.
You know.
Plus,
now-
there were a lot of good things.
I
about the
watched that
but-
show and I realized while I was watching it, I was like, I don't feel like Walker's that bad of a guy. He's just following orders,
Yeah.
right?
Really, really, yes.
Like that's
He's doing what they're telling him to do.
yeah,
You know, and
Like, that's-
granted, he was a little violent.
yeah,
I mean,
but
this-
you know,
This is also where they established that there was a Captain America or a super soldier after Steve.
that's
Yes.
right.
Which would then play into a role.
What
for
was his name?
Brady?
Brady.
Brady.
No, Bradley. Isaiah Bradley?
Brady.
I forget. Let me look it up real
It's
quick.
Brad something.
Who are you talking about?
The guy from
he came out in Brave New World.
Yeah, isn't it Bradley?
Was it
Bradley?
Bradley? Bradley. Oh, I'm saying
it's
like
Bradley.
Brad something.
Yeah.
Brad space something.
I almost say Charles. Why did I say Charles?
Charles.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
But I really like that. I was like, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of course they would try.
Isaiah
again.
Bradley. I was right.
Isaiah
Yeah,
Bradley.
Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah.
But yeah, it's what kicks off like that and the idea of like being a super soldier, and then like oh my god, Falcon. What's the character name? Oh my god.
Sam
Sam, thank you, Jesus Christ! We literally just saw Captain America a couple weeks ago.
just saw it.
But Sam, him like refusing to like not want to take the super soldier
Yeah,
system and
that
all
was from the first.
like him just being him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a good show. I don't know if I'd rewatch it anytime soon, but it's definitely B tier. Like it's watchable. There's definitely other shows that are not as good.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll get to that. But first, let's get to an actual good one.
The best show.
Yeah, this is
in my
probably
opinion, yeah.
Favorite show.
Yeah, this is probably the best MCU show that they've
Yeah,
done.
I think it's going in A for sure, but
It's definitely probably like the top of A.
top of A.
Maybe not the
Oh
top.
yeah.
Actually, I'd probably watch
yeah.
Loki better than Iron Man.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Loki.
The only
I
problem
really
with
enjoyed
Loki, like both the show, like both seasons, is unfortunately they are stuck to the idea of Jonathan Majors being more.
Yeah.
But if you overlook that, they're really good
Yeah.
like episodes of television.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it is
Which
kinda
is
stuck in
which
that
is a shame
circumstance.
because he's such a likable character in that
in
show.
that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to see more of that character. It's like,
yeah. And then like you have a Sylvie and like
Sylvie.
all the stuff that's going on with her
yeah.
and like the idea of like just like Loki wanting to be better.
Elias.
Yeah.
That also sets up a later movie.
Crocodile
Oh,
Loki.
yeah.
Crocodile Loki.
Or
Yeah.
whatever his name was, I forget.
Oh, I think I remember briefly there was a shot of Frog Thor when
Yeah.
they were going into the bunker.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, there's good things in this show.
Great.
Like I said, it's probably the best. Or not probably, it's the best show
Yeah.
that they've done, and I think top of A that's perfectly serviceable for where it's at.
Yeah.
Right now we got Black Widow.
Black Widow.
It was all right.
I think this
It
is
was okay.
unfortunately it's the product of when it came out because it was delayed,
Yeah.
and then COVID happened and they had to put it on streaming. That being said, I don't think the movie is like super great. I don't think it's C tier at all. Like if I'm being real honest, I don't think it's C
If
tier.
it was, it would be like definitely high, but it wasn't a bad movie.
because another thing you have to think about is like this. I guess in Falcon and the Winter Soldier too, it establishes the idea of the Thunderbolts being a thing.
Yeah.
Because they have a what's her face, go and talk to Yelena while she's at her grave, which then sets up Yelena being in Hawkeye, which is awesome. But yeah,
she's a great character.
Would you?
Oh,
what-
Red Guardian is in that movie.
Red Guardian, isn't it? That's awesome.
so are you saying that? Would you rather watch Black Widow again or Ant-Man and the Wasp? Because I think I'd rather watch Ant-Man.
Oh yeah.
See, that's a good point though.
That's a good
Because
point.
Black Widow, I've seen it once. I'm never gonna watch it again.
You know what, John? Honestly, that's a very fair argument. I would. Okay,
That's
we're putting it
we can put it in
below.
yeah.
At least below that.
But I would watch it over Iron Man 3, 100%.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we got What If Season 1. Spoiler alert, it only gets downhill from there.
Yeah.
Like I'm just being honest. I think they peak at Season 1. Like I really do.
Season 2
It took
was
me forever.
okay.
It took me forever to watch What If because y'all were like, "Hey, watch it."
No,
I
I honestly think it peaks at season because what they do from after Season 1 is they just start telling stories.
Yeah.
Like they just like, hey, what if this happened?
Yeah.
Instead of like what they do in this season, it's like, hey, what if this thing was different?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of hey, what if this random jabroni took the super serum?
Yeah.
Like there's literally an episode in Season 3 where it's like, hey, what if the Avengers were in mech suits?
yeah.
Like
wow.
if they're in Gundam suits, and I'm just like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about this at all.
Was it? Wait, what season was that?
That's Season 3. It's the
Season
latest. It's the last
3.
season.
Oh boy.
Which
What
is
was it? The only thing I remember from season 3 is that weird Howard the Duck with Darcy one.
yeah, they have a kid,
God,
No.
that is.
Yeah.
which I believe ends up becoming an original character by the end of the show.
So
I forget her name.
where does What If go? Season 1.
What if here's like what if Season 1 is pretty decent.
It's great.
Like they it's also the season where they toy with the idea of doing Marvel Zombies,
Oh, that's
which they eventually
Right.
would kickstart to do, which I believe comes out at the end of this year or 2026.
2026.
Yeah.
I think.
Which I'm super looking forward to that. I love Marvel Zombies.
is
So A tier.
crazy.
I would put it at
Ooh. If it's an A, it's got to be low. Is it better than WandaVision?
honestly no.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Better than.
I think
WandaVision's a B though.
okay, then let's
Yeah,
move,
that's what I'm saying.
well then here's the thing. Let's move WandaVision up to the end of A,
Okay.
and then we'll put What If
Behind WandaVision.
No, well, it's still B tier, but I would put
Yeah.
it right there.
Yeah.
But would I rather watch Civil War though? I think I would.
Would
I'd
you?
rather watch Civil War 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
I was letting y'all kind of go with this one.
What if behind Civil War?
Spider-Man or no?
No, I'd probably watch Civil War over Spider-Man. Honestly.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what if?
Yeah. What if it's better than?
Okay, you said okay.
Yeah. I meant that it was better than Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Next
All
movie, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Honestly, banger movie.
Yeah.
I
This
loved
movie
it,
has the best fighting choreography out of any MCU movie ever.
which
It
I would
does.
hope so.
It does.
Yes.
It does.
Like this movie goes hard.
So C or S?
C or S?
Where on S tier?
I don't know if it's S tier though. Like
don't
I
think so?
know I was glazing it, but it's like at least top of A. I think.
Chop. Is it better than Loki?
Oh,
I think yeah.
I would watch it over. Loki
Yeah, I think I could
100%.
watch it over Loki.
But I don't know if it's S. I really like Simu Liu as a person.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad they gave him the role for this because
Yeah.
I just think he's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it's S tier. I think it has to be top of A.
Top of A is
Yeah.
fine.
Because like there's cool things like the idea of like the 10 rings in general and like how long like his dad was like
Has had him.
and like
What he did.
like
all
he
that
stopped
stuff.
using them and like the reason why he was trying to use them again
Yeah.
and like him kind of being like lied to by the evil spirits or whatever. I forget the point. It also has the Mandarin or the fake Mandarin,
Yeah.
which is also kind of dumb.
Great. No,
Yeah.
I loved it. Right, because he
Um,
was like, "Yeah, I pretended to be this guy who was your
Yeah.
dad, but I did
But
such a great
I'm-
job." He became a jester, and I'm
Yeah,
like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
that's
I can
great.
he's like I can be convinced of S, but we'll put it in A.
A, I'm fine with A. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Now this next one I can't talk about because I haven't seen it.
Well, the next one is kind of hard because it gets so much hate.
So
And
So
What-
the next
what do
one
you
is the
think? What do you
Eternals.
okay,
Because y'all know my opinion, so what-
Eternals is
go for it.
decent. The problem it had is that it tried to be Avengers without all the previous movies to then like set out how the characters would be, because there was a lot of characters in this movie.
True.
I like the fighting. The fighting in this movie is amazing.
I have to agree.
As
As far as superhero fighting, the way it looks, it's some of the best. It's some of the best fighting.
This is one of
And,
the
like,
movies that actually has like a speedster.
That's what I was gonna say.
Speedster.
One of the best like movements
Yeah,
of how
I'm like,
it does. Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
Yes. But I didn't really care that much about the characters.
Well, was it because it was your first time learning about them, or was it because
Yeah, like
you had never heard of it before?
So I'm a big like myth like buff, right? Like I like reading Greek, Roman, like a bunch of the like legends and stuff. So when I heard their names, I can be like, oh, I can kind of equate them to like mythological Athena,
Yeah.
Phastos, Hephaestus,
Yeah.
Icar, like all those things. Like, oh yeah, like I can see what like mythological figures they would be about, right? But I didn't really get that attached to the idea of like, oh, they're Eternals, they're here to get rid of the what were the villain names? What were the
Which ones? The
creatures that were absorbing them? What were they
Celestials?
called them? No.
Oh, you're talking about the
weird like
you
monsters.
made me look it up.
I forgot what they're called, but they're just
I don't
they're just
remember the name of
like,
it. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
we're coming to this planet to basically destroy these people, right? And then like halfway through the movie, or like, because a lot of the story is also told in flashbacks, which is not my favorite form of like storytelling, right?
I would have loved if they made the Eternals a season.
Like
gave
a
it more
show.
time.
Yes.
And had backstory for everybody. I think people would have liked it a little bit more instead of just in your face. This is, and it
because it goes very quick.
I get how people could have looked at like what you said. Oh, this is just like a knockoff, not a knockoff Avengers, but it's like they're trying to do what the Avengers did.
Yeah.
But when they really, really weren't. They were just
right. Like, which is unfortunate. Well, I'm not saying they were doing like the Avengers. What I'm saying is they got a whole bunch of these characters that separate could be interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
And it's
Gilgamesh,
amazing.
Yeah.
I love the actor who plays him too. So it's a shame.
Yeah.
Right. But like they kind of just put these all people
It's too
together.
rushed.
It's too rushed.
Everything is just happening like
right.
you know,
right.
so-
which is unfortunate.
granted they bring out the beyond, let's call them beyonders, you're not celestials, whatever. Beyonders, whatever. That's your first introduction
Yeah.
into them, right?
Yeah, I love how they look too.
Yeah.
It's great.
I like the story. They explain kind of
great.
like the backstory of
Yeah.
how they destroy planets and all that stuff. And but yeah, I think it could have been done better.
Yeah.
But overall, I did like it.
Yeah, it's
Like,
great. It's great.
I would put, if it had been done a little bit better with a little better backstory, I would put it in A. But
Yeah.
I think B.
B.
That's where I would go with it.
B is-
Because I've
yeah.
watched it multiple times. I'll probably watch it again. It just.
Yeah, which again, we're not saying it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
but it could have been done better.
All
Now,
right.
don't get me wrong. I do believe it's.
I think it starts the end of B.
Yeah, I do believe it's not as good as Captain Marvel because how for what that show was.
Sure.
But it's better than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think so.
Again, I'm leaving it up to you guys. I've
Yeah,
never seen it.
I can.
so
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you cool with that one?
Yeah.
it's like the one big MCU thing I've never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of other people didn't either.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't watch it.
I only saw it because, like, 1 week I was like, let me just
The-
go to the
the-
movies and watch it.
The only thing I know about it is that I think Harry Styles is in the end credit scene.
He is.
That's the only thing I know. about
He's
the
what, Thanos' brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is that the main reason that I first learned about this
Yeah.
movie was because because two members of BTS were going to do a song on it. And so I heard about the movie and I was like, wait, they're making an Eternals movie? So
Yeah.
that's how I watched it. I was like,
There you
okay,
go.
oh,
Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. John is an army.
yeah. Oh God.
Damn.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Eternals.
Yeah, I mean, one more.
Again,
I mean,
I've never seen it, so I'm gonna leave that up
well,
to
I
you.
mean, the only other thing about the Eternals that I really like is the powers.
yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
powers
that's what I'm
are
saying.
amazing.
The powers are awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
the
that-
characters are great. They just could have.
Well, like another thing is
story.
like the actual actors. They're stacked.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're-
it's like Angelina Jolie,
Amazing. Mhm.
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek.
Yep.
It's like, oh my god, what's his
Christ.
name?
Gosh.
He plays one of the characters in Spider Verse.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
He's
God.
been another thing. Anyway, the actual actor roster is stacked.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that nobody saw it.
And what sucks is they didn't do anything with Black Knight either.
Oh,
They
my
canceled,
God.
scrapped that whole thing
Oh,
with
he
the-
was. Yeah,
it was going to be so good.
Jon Snow.
Yes, it was going to be so good.
Yeah.
But well,
All right, well,
yeah,
let's,
anyways.
let's stop this.
Wasn't Blade in that one too? But like his voice.
I think he was teased.
it was teased.
Yeah.
Ah, that would.
So what's the next one we have? Is that
We got Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hawkeye
Oh,
was great. It was a great show.
It's good.
I for me personally, I'm so biased because I love Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I love Hawkeye.
No, I get it.
I love the character.
I love
I love
purple.
I love the actor who's playing Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Um.
Agreed.
Jeremy Renner,
Yeah. Yeah. Hawkeye. He's so fucking cool.
Mr. Renner,
Yeah. Jeremy Renner.
who's
dude.
50% robot
Yeah.
now.
So
Yeah.
do you think Hawkeye is better than Shang-Chi?
No, I'm not putting it that high. I'm not saying it's that good.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm
Better than
A-tier. It is
WandaVision?
A-tier.
Here's the thing. I would rewatch Hawkeye over WandaVision, but I feel like WandaVision does more as a whole.
Sure.
Because
Okay, I
like
get it.
Hawkeye would it introduces Kate Bishop. It brings back Kingpin, which is huge
Yeah,
for me
which
as
is
a
really
Marvel
good.
fan.
Yeah.
Like it also introduces Echo, who she would eventually get her own show, which would have Kingpin.
Yeah.
But I
Yelena.
don't. But I feel like WandaVision as a whole does more
Yeah.
because I feel like it as a whole it's what kicks off the Multiverse of Madness
Multiverse
and
of
like doing
Madness.
stuff with that. So
Yeah.
I feel like as a whole, WandaVision is more important. But I enjoyed Hawkeye more.
Oh yeah, me too.
So
Mm.
I would say
above it.
I would say Hawkeye goes in at least bottom of A tier.
Oh.
I'll second that then.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, WandaVision and Hawkeye are pretty much equal to me.
Because my brain it shouldn't be doing this, but I'm kind of gauging it on other shows.
Sure, sure.
And I'm Loki, then WandaVision, then Hawkeye, and it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I would much rather watch it over Civil War. So I gotta be like, hey, you know what? Cool, bottom of A because it is a really good series.
Sure, sure. We can put it somewhere because for me they're about equal anyways. So wouldn't matter too much for me.
All right, so now we got
No
Way Home.
No Way
That's
Home.
S tier. We're not debating that's S tier.
No Way Home is definitely S tier.
That's
I
S tier
don't care
movie.
nostalgia or what you call it, whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Yep.
It was a great movie.
Yep.
I
no,
will-
no need to
I'll
talk
watch
about
it
it.
again over
Me
and
and
over.
Vic both saw that movie in theaters opening night.
Oh yeah.
It was literally the best experience I've ever had doing anything ever.
Loved
I
it.
literally texted somebody later that night being like, oh my God, I love living. I love that I get to exist and enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because not only is it like just the nostalgia, it's you have the justification of all that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like if you watched Toby's movies, if you watched Andrew's movies, and you've stuck around for the MCU movies, you feel justified in doing it because it feels like it all matters. And even though some of those movies aren't as good as other movies,
Yeah.
it does it in a way that like it doesn't pander it. And like my favorite part of the movie is they finally give Andrew his redemption.
Yeah.
Of not being able to send Gwen Stacy, and he ends up saving MJ. And like oh god, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like I cannot sing its praise. The movie is.
If you're a Spider-Man fan, you will love this movie.
Like
That's
if you're a Spider-Man fan, you've probably already seen this one.
True.
But here's the thing: it's also the thing that I think culminates what I've been talking about this entire time. It's like Spider-Man doesn't feel like Spider-Man in these movies. He just feels like a guy who has the spider powers. Like he's Spider-Man because he could do the stuff, but he doesn't feel Spider-Man. You know, it's not until like what Vic was trying to say earlier, when Aunt May dies and she gives him the with great power comes great responsibility shtick. You know,
Which, by the way, in the comics, she first says it.
Yeah. But it hits harder.
It hits harder
because
then she dies.
Because she dies, and it's like, in terms of like an actual immediate family, Peter's on his own.
Yeah.
And then he has to erase everything, and now he's officially on his own. Nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, oh my, I love this movie.
Yeah.
We're putting it higher than some of these other movies. Like I know we're having it at the bottom of S. I think there's part of me. I think first off, I think Ragnarok might be too high now that I'm looking at this list. In terms of like, it's still S tier, but it's higher.
Okay, I can go. Yeah, I do believe Thor goes below Avengers.
Yes.
So,
like, move Spider-Man to where Thor was, because I think Spider-Man kicks Thor. Like, no offense, I know we glazed the Avengers movies, but they're not as good. I also think you should move Winter Soldier down, but before Ragnarok.
Okay.
Oh, but is this Spider-Man movie better than Doctor Strange? I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Because, like I said, Vic, we were there.
We were there.
We were there. You cannot beat the feeling
Yeah.
that we had that we were in there.
Yeah.
okay, well, look, I'm throwing some 2 cents in because I believe that this movie is a better movie than Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But I also believe that the Avengers movies were better than Winter Soldier.
Well, I mean, we can
So,
move Winter Soldier.
If y'all don't
down.
mind,
Yeah. Okay. So let's sit here.
Let's
Because
do
at this
some
point,
cleanup right
at this
now.
point, we're just debating where on S tier
where it
Spider-Man
goes, right? Okay, cool. Look, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's how I said.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Great movies. Awesome. Spider-Man was
Well,
awesome.
hold up. Before we move on, do you still think the first Avengers movie is better than the last 2 Avengers movies?
No.
So then we need to move
can
Avengers 1 down.
Yeah.
Wait, we hit. Oh, that's right. We did have.
I forgot we had it there.
There.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's that low?
Huh?
You think it's better than Ragnarok?
What?
You think Avengers 1's better than Ragnarok?
What?
No, it's ahead of it. It's behind it.
No, that's what I mean. Like, sorry, I'm getting my words tied. You think it's worse than Ragnarok?
I think Ragnarok as a movie, as a Hulk Thor movie, or Thor movie, Hulk's in it, but I think it's better than Avengers.
Okay, but do you think Avengers is better than Winter Soldier? Because I think I'd still rather watch Avengers over Winter Soldier.
Really?
Ooh.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
you know what?
You know what? You might be right because
here's the thing: we're not debating whether these movies suck or not. They're S tier movies. These are the best of the best of the
there you
MCU.
go.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah, that works.
that'll work.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd probably put Spider-Man above Guardians. Like,
Really?
I think. I still don't think it's better than Doctor
I don't
Strange.
know. I don't think it's better than Guardians.
For me, they're
Well,
about equal.
I think if you're gonna pop it up above Guardians, it would totally be because of the nostalgia,
Yeah.
not because of what it did.
See, that's the problem, right? Because like I could be like, man, I was there and it was good.
Yeah.
But if I rewatched it, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it's still good for what it is.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it at that because we're gonna talk about it if we keep
Hey,
going.
top three's pretty good.
Moon Knight, that's like a B tier show, honestly.
It's B tier.
I loved Moon Knight.
I'm not saying
I
it's
love Moon Knight
bad.
Here's the thing. I liked it better than WandaVision.
Me too. Same.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's better than Hawkeye,
Here's the problem with Moon Knight.
Oh.
It's they did it and they've never talked about it since.
which is fine. But
No, I feel like if you're gonna do something that's in the MCU, you have to bring it up every now and then, and I feel like they haven't done that with Now, granted, you can make the argument of like, oh, well, you shouldn't judge it based on that, but like, I feel like it just doesn't do anything. Like, I also think the finale of the show is kind of mid.
Oh, really?
Like, I think it's fine for what it is, because obviously they're kind of setting up season 2, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
For which one?
For Moon Knight.
For Moon Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, because
they leave it on a cliffhanger of the third personality for.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. That's right.
I forget the
Yeah.
name. Please don't butcher. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
Jake Lockley.
Yeah, there you go. But they haven't done anything with it since. But
So-
I don't want to judge it based off that.
So do you think it's okay if we're gonna go? It can go in B tier. What do you think in B tier?
It's definitely better than What If.
That's what I was gonna say. I like it better than What If.
If I'm gonna be honest, I liked it better than Civil War.
Same. Yeah, being
I'll give you
totally
all that.
honest.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll concede on that.
Top of B.
I wouldn't put it there, but I will concede.
right.
Multiverse of Madness. This might be a hot take. I don't think it's as bad as everybody says it is.
I don't think it's bad either.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
one of
great.
my one of my better liked movies.
It's definitely not S tier.
no.
No.
It's probably like at the end of A tier, maybe. Top of B.
top of B.
I would say no. I would say that needs to go in A tier.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it above.
I'd rather watch Multiverse of Madness. Okay, now I don't agree that it's better. It's a better movie than Age of Ultron, but I would rather watch that than Age of
Than
Ultron.
over Age of
Yeah,
Ultron.
So I
Sure.
believe it belongs in A somewhere. That's
sure,
what,
sure.
Okay, so
It's
then how?
better than Ant-Man?
I don't think it's better than Ant-Man, but because Ant-Man is as the first movie introduction
Okay,
of Ant-Man.
okay.
into the- I'm just
How
saying,
about
yeah.
how about I pitch this to you then? It can be an A tier, but it has to go before Guardians 2, but after Black Panther.
That's fine.
Oh.
Because I don't think Multiverse of Madness is better than Black Panther. I just don't.
You don't think
It's
it's
not.
better than Black Panther?
I think it's better than Guardians 2, but it's not better than Black Panther.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right.
Because again, it's one of those things where it's like if you watch the show, like WandaVision, you feel justified in what's going on.
Yeah.
But this is where you really start seeing they have to reiterate stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
If you
Which-
didn't see the show, which I hate. I hate
Yeah.
when they have to do that. But it's the victim of their own demise.
I believe if they had changed a couple of things, the way they did it in Multiverse of Madness, it would be a much higher, much better movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, granted, you could say that about every movie, but
Plus, in that movie, you got my favorite Wanda scene of her coming out of the mirror, all like,
Oh, yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like, oh yes,
yeah, Sam Raimi. Really
Sam
knows
Raimi. Yeah,
He really knows his stuff. All right, so now we got Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel,
Honestly,
Ooh.
this show is decent.
I'm gonna be honest, didn't see it.
it was okay. I don't like it as much as Moon Knight.
I don't think it's C tier. I'm gonna be real.
It-
I don't think it's C tier.
B tier.
It's definitely B tier. I would put it above.
Put it somewhere over here.
It's probably before the Eternals, but after Captain Marvel.
I can see that.
Because it's either before or after Captain Marvel, if I'm being honest. Because I would still rather watch Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'd rather watch Captain Marvel over Miss Marvel. I did not like Miss Marvel at all, but I think it's a good show for what it was, and the introduction of a character, and it was funny. And it did have some. It had some cool stuff.
I really
into it.
like the actress that plays Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan.
I think she is the embodiment of the character and what the character is supposed to portray.
Hmm.
Because she is like this little geeky, nerdy, like kind of like fangirl,
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those things where like the end credits for the series leads into the beginnings of the Marvels.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's really good in terms of like stuff like that. But as a whole, yeah, I would probably say that B tier.
Right.
Me too.
Okay, so what was this next one? Is that Love and Thunder?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Okay, so this one isn't as good as Ragnarok,
It's not.
but it's not super terrible.
No, I really enjoyed Love and Thunder. It's one of my favorite Thor movies, other than Ragnarok.
I like the idea of Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
the idea of like Jane is dying and she has to take on the powers of Thor to like
Yeah.
keep her alive.
to keep her alive.
I also like the idea of like Thor taking in what's the character's name? Gore
yeah,
taking in his daughter. And like
Yeah.
that's the whole Love and Thunder. Like,
Yeah,
that's that's really neat. Kind of
Although not my favorite part is how they portrayed Gore the Butcher.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was very.
He seemed a little not as scary.
I feel like this is also the start of people kind of noticing the bad CGI of Marvel movies, because there was that one clip or that one screen grab of what's his face's son,
Yeah.
and that made the rounds on Twitter and Instagram and everything. Like I feel like this is where people started being like really hypercritical about stuff.
Granted, I mean, it was a fun movie. Thor had some funny parts, had some serious parts, had a lot of good action. Granted, CGI could have been a little bit better. I don't like the way they did Gore either, as well.
So where would you put it?
I don't know. I mean, I've watched it multiple times, so I'm not gonna put it in. It wouldn't go C. It has to go. I would say somewhere in B.
I would put it at the top of B.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah.
B.
You know what? Better than Moon Knight? Yes, I agree because I've watched it multiple times. Moon Knight I've seen once.
All right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable show.
Sure.
All right, so next week I think it's this is the Groot show.
Okay.
We're just gonna be honest, never seen it. We're gonna put it in the probably the only thing that's gonna be in the never seen tier for all of us.
We're just gonna go ahead and do this too. So
yeah, so the second season because I think they're like shorts. They're not really episodes. They're like 4-minute, 5-minute little short things. Who really cares? Like I don't think there's enough MCU lore in those movies to do anything about. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Hey, here's the thing: it gets brownie points because they bring in Daredevil.
That brownie points that cannot save that show.
Dude.
But the problem with She-Hulk is it doesn't do. It's not the bottom. It is not the bottom. I'd still rather watch She-Hulk over those Thor movies, John. You don't.
You are crazy.
Those Thor movies
Really?
are not that great, John.
Wow, that She-Hulk is kind of horrible.
Look,
okay,
bro, no,
because She-Hulk has Daredevil. There,
because here's the thing, right?
Actually, no.
There are single episodes in that show that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the episode with Wong.
Oh, that's right.
And there's was it Madison? The Wongers. Like I love that episode. It's so funny. And then there's a Daredevil episode. Like
as I said, okay, so it went above those three. Okay?
That can't be the only criteria, dude.
No, you know what?
No,
listen. It's really crappy now because I'm looking at these movies. It's like I cannot stand Black Widow. So
it's periodically moving up. Like,
oh god.
No, I would watch. I've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I think I'd watch
Ant-Man
and watch a couple more times before She-Hulk.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the
whole series.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the bottom like you guys are thinking. It's. I'm not saying it's a good show. I'm just saying it's not as bad as we're making it out to be. Yeah. Could they have done more? Absolutely. Do I think the ending is a little? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they bring in Scar and
like, don't remind me.
No, that I'll put the garbage tier back for that.
We're not putting the garbage tiers.
I think when I put D as the garbage tier, I was thinking about She-Hulk.
Nah, it's
it made me so mad. Okay, yeah. Anyway,
it's not the worst.
It's C. I think it's a C tier show.
But you can't.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be real honest. I think Secret Invasion on this list. It's going below that.
Yeah,
Secret Invasion. They butchered that. I think
that show didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. We'll get there. Okay, so the next one.
There's a reason. Okay, yeah.
So the next one. I believe this is the first time they've done. I forget what they call it, but it was like a standalone thing. It wasn't really a show, but it wasn't like anything else. It was like a. Oh my god, what was it? Like a special premiere or something like that?
Like a mini series or a mini.
It was like a 40-minute thing. Yeah. It was Werewolf by Night. I believe they've only done 2 of them. I think it's this one and Guardians, the Christmas special. Yeah. I believe it's the only ones they do. I think Werewolf by Night is fine.
Never seen it.
I'm never watching it again.
You seen it?
But I think it's interesting enough because I believe
what's it about?
I believe it's there's like all these like monster hunters and they gather into like one thing and they have to like try to either kill each other or they have to find the monster and kill it. I'm gonna be real. I don't remember. I saw
it's the game Werewolf,
basically.
Okay.
But it's not terrible, but I wouldn't watch it again unless they gave me a reason to watch it.
Right.
Because I know they did because the whole thing about when they premiered it was in black and white, and then eventually at the very end it turns into color. But then they re-released it just in full color, which I was like, that's odd. I feel like the whole point of it was to have it in black and white and then transition into color.
I think if you would have said, yeah, the most of the shows in black and white, I would have been like, cool, let me watch it.
Am I going to tell you to watch it? No. But like, if you want to watch it, go ahead.
Yeah.
See, if you had told me it was like if it's always been black and white and they didn't put color on it, I would have been more interested.
Here's the thing. It's in color for like the last like 2 minutes. It's literally something happens.
So most of it is
the
in black and white.
entirety of it is in black and white.
See, if they hadn't put color in it, then I'd be way more interested.
Here's the thing. They I think there's 2 feeds on Disney Plus to watch it. You can watch it the original way and then the in full color. Like I say, I think it's worth the watch because like
well, you've seen it, so where do you think it goes?
It's not. Here's the thing. I wouldn't watch it again. Like if I'm being real honest, so it's in C tier for me.
Better than She-Hulk?
No.
Okay.
I would still watch She-Hulk, but it's one of those things where it's like it's just a one-off thing that they're doing. I don't know if it's ever going to be brought up again. So like I don't want to. I can't say it's better than She-Hulk because like there was more to go off of She-Hulk, and there's probably going to be a season 2 of She-Hulk. There's probably there's more things that they can do with She-Hulk than I think they're going to do with this Werewolf by Night stuff.
That is true. Yeah.
Because like,
and if I watch it, I still may go watch it now, but I'll probably watch it once
because like to me, Werewolf by Night was more of a thing to like establish like, hey, there are monsters in this world. Okay. You know, like there's vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. Right. But I don't know if they're going to go any further than that because like.
But was it good?
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't remember it because like this. I think this came out like 2023.
If you can't remember it, it belongs in C.
Yeah, but I would probably still watch it over the Thor movies.
Black Panther. Black Panther. I was gonna say Wakanda and Black Panther at the same time. Yeah. Black Panther. Black Panther.
So I'm gonna be wrong. This isn't as good as the first one.
No.
And I don't think it has anything to do with Chadwick Boseman being gone. Rest in peace. I feel like they didn't know what to do with the fact that he was gone.
Because now it's Shuri, right?
Yeah, now it's Shuri, and it's I think them playing with the idea of like who's going to be the next Black Panther, and they kind of established that T'Challa had a son, and eventually it's going to be the case where he's the new Black Panther. Yes, that's clearly where they're going, but right now they have to use Shuri, because a lot of the story is about mourning, like the loss and mourning of loss, and like how do you deal with that. And it kind of feels like the whole Namor stuff and like the stuff that's going on between like them and like the Wakanda kind of doesn't like feel as important.
Yeah.
Or it should feel more important than it actually is.
If they had went the route of replacing him, like I'm not replacing him, but picking the next Black Panther, and I don't know, it would have felt the wars and the battle between them would have felt a little more meaningful, not just like
it's less of like it's more like a proving now.
I guess, right. But like what you were saying, it seems like just a mourning movie. Like you're mourning the loss of this character or this character, and it's just like I think it threw him for a loop, and they had to they didn't rush to put it together, but I think it could have been executed a little bit better.
Yeah,
it's not C tier. I'll be real.
No.
I definitely think it's at the bottom of.
I've seen it a couple times. I'd say B, low B.
It's definitely low B for me.
Low B,
100%.
Low B.
Yeah.
Oh wait, would you? Okay, just because you put it at the bottom, would you rather watch that over Iron Man 2?
Probably not.
Because I'd probably watch Black Panther over Iron Man 2.
Yeah, where's Iron Man 2? Right here?
Yeah, it's right there. It's literally just moving up one. Unless you think you would watch Black Panther over the Hulk movie.
No.
Okay, so we'll put it in front of Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that's the Guardians holiday special.
Holiday special.
Honestly, that was special. That was really fun.
That was pretty good.
It's really fun. They go and they have to get Kevin Bacon.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
It's such a good little thing.
I've seen it like 4 or 5 times already. It is so good.
It's really good.
Yeah, it might be A tier.
Yeah.
It's definitely above Guardians 2. It's better than Guardians 2. 100%.
Oh yeah.
100% it's better than Guardians 2. Yeah. In fact, I would probably put it.
I would put it in A tier, honestly.
Yeah, I would put it in above Guardians 2 and just leave it there. Because I'd probably still watch Multiverse of Madness over it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely better than
really
Guardians
fun
2.
and
It's definitely better than Guardians 2.
Quantumania.
Man, what a disappointment this was. Like I feel like again, this is the problem. It's heavily focused on Jonathan Majors, and I think at this point, was he already cut? He might have already been cut.
No, he wasn't cut before the movie was made.
Okay, so then it was like immediately after.
It was right after this movie.
So unfortunately, and I guess you can't critique it off of that, but like, I also don't really like MODOK in the movie.
I liked MODOK in the movie. I liked the ending of the movie. Loved the ants. I loved everything about it.
Here's the thing. I also like the ending of the movie because they play with the idea of like, oh, is Kang really gone? Is he?
Yeah.
Are we ever going to see him again? And spoilers, we're probably not going to see him.
I love the extra characters that they brought in. That were people in the quantum realm. But it was
really made it feel alive.
It really kind of like, how do you say? I think the thing that threw it off for me the most was just bad CGI throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Again, going back to when Thor: Love and Thunder first came out, and that was kind of like the thing they like kickstart that. I feel like this movie was the one that was like, hey, we really need to give these people time to cook.
Yeah.
Because I remember when MODOK was revealed and everybody was just clowning.
No, this movie could have been so much better. I liked it because I like Paul Rudd. I like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I liked the idea of the quantum realm. I loved all the characters there, and I liked, before we knew, I liked the way Jonathan Majors was going into that role, and it was like, oops, well, now you turn the movie into a crappier movie because,
Yeah.
So it's just, So I get it. I don't think it's C, though.
It's definitely a B tier movie.
I think it's a B tier movie.
B tier movie's fine.
I'd put it.
Where are you gonna go? Below Black Panther 2?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, Guardians 3.
Oh,
That's S tier for sure.
That's
definitely S tier. It's just
Make sure we're on the-
Are we putting it above or below Guardians 1?
We're putting it.
Because Guardians 1 is at the tippy top, behind Doctor Strange, and that's why I asked you. Is like, do you guys think Guardians 1 is that high?
You know what? We could probably go Guardians 3 here. You do believe Guardians 3 is, in your opinion, Guardians 3 better than Guardians 1?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, I think so too. That's
Because it's the culmination of everything.
Yeah.
Then we move Guardians 1 down.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man number 3.
Yeah, because like, oh man,
Avengers.
I feel like the emotional highs that I get out of watching Guardians 3 is so much higher than 1.
Yeah.
Because like the whole like resurrecting Rocket, and like Rocket like on the verge of death, and he's like, hey, I want to be with you.
Oh, his
Can I come
backstory?
too?
Yeah.
Can I come too? And he says, I come too, and I'm like, bro, that hits so hard.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then I forget the author's name, but she's like, sure you can, but not right now.
Yeah.
And like,
Lilia?
dude, I wanted
Not Lilia.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry so
Yeah.
hard because that hit
It
so
was
hard.
So emotional, dude.
And
It
then
was
like at the
really,
very
really
end, you
good.
think Peter's gonna die,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't, and then they all split up and they're all doing their own thing, and I really do think it's the best way to like end this iteration of the Guardians, like because it seems like they're all gonna go do their own thing.
I agree.
I don't know if they'll ever get reunited.
Lila.
Thank you, Lila. But yeah, it's a great movie. It
And I
really
love
is.
the ending was great too.
Oh,
Just-
Also, not that this is a big deal, it's the first time they use the F word in an MCU movie.
oh, when with the
No.
car.
Yeah. Where Peter goes, open the effing door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the
honestly, that was a big deal when it happened. Like that was the first time it ever happened.
I have
What do you think
never-
about them showing it at the end with Rocket leading the new team, or whatever they have? Like, kind of.
Ooh.
It was kind of.
It's probably the logical way to go.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, because he's still the
Well,
captain.
you know what's funny? Like now we're just critiquing the movie. What do you guys? What did you guys think of Adam Warlock? Because he's probably maybe like my only gripe in the movie.
It's my biggest gripe.
He doesn't feel
like
Adam
Warlock.
Warlock.
He doesn't
Well-
feel like Adam Warlock.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same problem that for me, Spider-Man had, where he's young, right? Like he was just born.
Yeah, he's probably like
Sure.
fresh out of
right.
the
So
cocoon.
he's literally fresh out of the cocoon, right? So he's still
Yeah.
learning, right? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping next time we see him, he's a little more,
A little more
I do-
powerful.
I
a
do
little
like-
more,
yeah.
you know.
I do like that
more
he's
used
part
to
of the
his
Guardians
powers.
now.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
also like a King. Is it King Groot at the very end?
Yeah.
He looks so cool.
he looks
Um,
stone, and I love that.
yeah.
I'm like, yes.
And then they have a Sean Gunn having the
yeah.
little
having
Yondu
the-
thing.
yeah.
I cannot wait for the next. I don't know if James Gunn's gonna do it. Probably not.
Oh, that girl was
Probably
in that,
not.
That girl was also in the team too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what she
Yeah.
can do.
but yeah, and that's the weird thing, right? Is like when we get the next Guardians movie, it's not gonna be James Gunn.
No.
So like, is the tone gonna change, or are they gonna try to keep it the same tone? And
but can it stay the same tone
yeah,
under a
is it
new
gonna be able
director?
to- yeah. You know, these are all questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
But we will save that for another day.
Secret Invasion.
This is a C tier show if I've ever seen one, bro. This could have been so cool,
Could have been so good.
and it just falls flat. It just doesn't. I don't think it hits the things that it needs to be hitting.
Yeah.
Well, once again, like I always go back to, I don't know, I always go back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. When they showed the preview for this, like just, not the preview, but when they said, hey, we're making a Secret Invasion, and seeing who was going to be in it, and it was just like, oh my God, you know, maybe I get to relive a little bit of like the nostalgia of Agents, you know,
Yeah.
and the kind of, you know, modern day setting, and, you know, and it's just, it was so bad. It was done so bad, and I usually don't say, I usually like the bad stuff. It was, I did not
It
like
was
it.
rough watching.
I didn't even finish the season, dude. I mean, I got like through 3 episodes.
No,
and-
I know a show is not super great, or at least maybe not for me, when it's a chore. And when I was
yeah.
watching Secret Invasion Weekly, it felt like a chore.
Like
it felt
you
like this
just
thing
had
I,
to get through
yeah,
it.
yeah, it felt like this thing I had to get through because I'm up to date on the MCU stuff.
Yeah,
And I have to watch it.
same.
Not because I'm genuinely enjoying this stuff.
And I just couldn't. After that, I watch a lot of stuff, so I was just like, okay, well, I can put it on the back burner. And gladly, I never went back.
I'm gonna be honest. I turned my brain off while watching it. I don't know what happens in that show,
Oh.
except for maybe like the big stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, again, like the idea of it could have been so much bigger than what we got.
Yeah.
And it just falls flat. It doesn't do anything like super special.
Which is
So-
a shame.
So yeah, I I know John just preemptively put it at the bottom of C tier, but I think that's where it belongs.
No, I think that's where it belongs. I
like,
really
I
do.
just,
I mean,
it doesn't
that's-
really
that's-
do anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me as like a show. I don't really feel anything. Like the only thing I think I feel is that they kill off Kobe Spolder's character. I forget her name. The agent.
Oh, that's right.
They kill her off, and I didn't really have anything like towards that character, but I know like she played Robin in How I Met Your Mother, so like that's why I care. Like, I was like, well, I'm not gonna see her in the MCU anymore. Okay, I guess.
Hill.
Yeah.
All right.
Agent Hell. There you go.
So
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this is definitely the bottom of C tier. I can't really say anything else about it. Just I don't know. Skip it if you haven't seen it. Like,
Honestly, dude.
yeah,
like
Just get a
season two?
synopsis of it.
Loki season 2
Better than Loki season 1.
better than Loki season 1. Yeah, agreed. I'm glad we all.
now is it better than Shang-Chi? Because I still don't think it is.
I would say yes.
I would say yes, and I would almost put Loki season 2 as S tier for me
Yeah.
in Marvel
Mm-hmm.
because, oh my god, it just tied it up. It tied up so well.
Just
Just
a beautiful
the
little bow.
TVA, the Loki finishing out.
Oh my
it
god,
was just
he becomes the god of the stories.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like,
I was just like,
yes.
You know what? I'll give you all the bottom of this tier.
Bottom of this tier.
I'll give you bottom of this tier.
the time traveling to repair.
So good.
He goes back like thousands of years
Yeah.
just to learn how to do like. Oh my god, it's just
That
so
was the
good, dude.
funniest
That was the funniest damn
Well,
thing.
when I saw that, I'm like, yo, he can kind of play the doctor.
Yeah, he can do. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can do and learn whatever
Tom
he wants to
Hiddleston
do. Yeah.
could, if they gave him the option, like, hey, do you want to be the doctor? I'd be like, I wouldn't be mad.
Oh no, like yeah,
Yeah,
that,
I'd
that'd
be
be an
like-
awesome. I'd watch it.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was. I really do believe. I think it's the only show that really belonged in season that belonged in S tier.
Yeah.
Um,
Because we get Obi. We get the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
That guy.
Yep.
He was great.
He played Ki Kwan. He played a great engineer, whatever the name of it was. But yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, next we have. Oh, I almost hit the mic. We have the Marvels.
The Marvels. Ooh,
Now here's the thing. I believe I talked about this
we did.
at some point.
We've talked
The
about this,
Marvels
like, on
up
occasions.
to a certain point is actually a pretty decent movie.
Decent one.
Then it gets to a certain part and it falls heavily
To-
on
to
its
the-
face.
I without that part and without I didn't mind it as much, but I get where you're coming from. Without that part, I'd say it's a high B. It's a good B. Good B. But with that part in it and a couple of other parts in there,
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing.
dragged.
At that part, once you get to that part, to the end, it's just it's either too fast or too slow.
Yeah.
Because because the segment where they're in the singing place goes on for too long, and then the end fight happens so quick.
Yeah. Well, actually, between the singing and the infight, that whole little arc where they're leaving the area, it seems like I don't know, maybe they were rushed for time. I don't know what it was, but it was way too fast. Did not like it.
Took too long in one place, so then they didn't count for the other.
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, I know what they were going for. Like, oh, it's this, weird planet and you sing and talk and stuff. But it could have been done so much better.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you.
For me, it's like
I already didn't like the Marvels.
honestly,
so-
because it's that bad. Like when I say like it really hits a fork in the road, it really does. To me, it takes me that once it gets to that place in the movie, it takes me out of the movie. Like to the point where I would probably put it at the bottom of B. Like it's not bad. It's nowhere in C. But honestly, I'd probably watch Iron Man 2 over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a fine movie, and honestly, it's like I said, we're not crapping on it. It's good up until a certain point. It's just that once it gets to that point, it's hard to go back, and it is what it is.
Right. What if season 2?
Yeah. What if season 2? It's not as good as 1.
Lower than What If season 1.
It's
Well, of course, but I mean, where do y'all? I have not seen season 2 at all. So
Is it better than the Marvels?
Yeah.
Marvels.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah. So
Even though I
then-
haven't seen it, I've seen.
I would put it. What's in front of Iron Man 2?
Quantumania.
I would put it in front of Quantumania.
What if season 2?
Yeah. What if? But actually, I would put it above Wakanda Forever.
You think so?
Behind Hulk.
Yeah, behind Hulk.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Behind Hulk.
I'll leave it. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
so.
Again, it's honestly, like I said, they peak at season 1. I think after season 1, it's like whatever.
It's okay. If you like those type of stories, and go for it.
Echo.
I have not seen this.
I have not seen it either.
I'm the only one who's seen it, and I.
What's it about?
I watched one episode rather. Okay.
So it's about this. I believe her name is Maya Lopez, and it's definitely Maya. She at the end of Hawkeye, she shoots Kingpin in the face, shoots out his eye, and it's basically like her, like kind of like on the run from Kingpin. But he eventually finds her, and it's basically like her, like I guess like kind of still escaping him, but like dealing with the problems like within her family.
Sure.
And then like there's a parts of it where like she like comes to a part with her, like her Native American heritage, and by the end of the show she gets like the powers of her Native American ancestors.
Cool.
And she uses them against like Kingpin. But it's one of those shows. The only thing I can like truly remember about it is I think it was the first show where they had to like, I think it was a simulcast with Hulu, because there were certain scenes in it that got really graphic and gory.
Ooh. Okay.
Not to the point where it's not like it was Daredevil-esque, but it didn't go as hard.
Oh.
Like I think one of the first things that happens in one of the episodes is one of like the bodyguards that is running around with Maya, he like knocks on the door, the guy like opens little people, and the dude shoots him in the face.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously Daredevil's in it for like an episode. But
Where do you think it goes?
I don't know if I'd watch it again. Like I'm not watching it again because of Daredevil or anything. Like I think as a whole, I definitely think it's a one-time watching
Better
show.
than She-Hulk?
Yeah, 100%. I would watch it over She-Hulk.
So B, end of B, bottom of C.
Top of C.
Top of C? Top of C.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so we got two more on this list, but we also have some that are just not on the list that we'll mention.
We'll just mention
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Deadpool and Wolverine. That's S-tier
S-tier.
movie. That's definitely S-tier movie.
S-tier.
Where are we
It
going?
is the perfect way to introduce Deadpool into the MCU.
Better or worse than the Avengers movie?
The first one?
Yeah.
It's better.
Better than the first, not better than the second, third.
Yeah. No,
You
that's
mean
fair.
third and fourth?
Yeah, it's third and fourth. Because Age
Age
of
of
Ultron.
Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Age of
Age of
Ultron.
Ultron.
I forget that
Yeah.
one. My bad.
It is the perfect introduction to both of those characters in the MCU.
Yeah.
While also being like this swan song to the 20th Century Fox era.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say this. They did my boy Daredevil dirty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like that. You know,
No.
that's the only thing I had a problem with. Him and the Punisher as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I get it, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that movie. We were also in the theater for that movie.
Oh, my God, dude.
And we were geeking out.
Yeah.
Like when Chris Evans comes out
Yeah.
and says "Flame,
Flame
on,"
on! I'm like,
It's like
And-
every 10 to 15 minutes, it was just something new. That
and
would be like
the NSYNC Deadpool dance
oh yeah,
is iconic,
yeah.
and I'm a huge NSYNC fan. Like when that happened, I literally turned to both. It was Vic, because I was sitting between Vic and our other friend Josh, and I have this like giant smile on my face because they're just doing this dance number to like this iconic song, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's so sick,
that's great.
and it's so in character.
The fight between them in the van.
Oh,
that is my that is
a great fight scene.
that is one of
So
my
good.
favorite fight scenes in any movie ever. Oh my god, it is so good. And then it goes to them just like, oh, they're good now, and it's just like going against.
no,
Well,
it's-
they're not good, but you know what I mean. And then at the end of the movie, just Wolverine's stuff just ripping off of him because of all the power and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, dude, it just I
when
don't
they revealed Elektra, Blade,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Gambit, I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, dude.
know. when Gambit stepped in
I
the,
forgot.
Yeah,
I can't believe that I forgot Gambit was in the movie.
Gambit,
Because
dude.
he was memeing too. Like,
Yeah.
woo, I'm about to make a name for myself.
yeah.
I was born ready. I get one of my dirty stick ready. I'm like, yes.
That's so good. Yeah, S tier. Mid S tier.
yeah,
Yeah,
S tier.
It's 100% it's S tier. There's
Oh
still-
my god.
All right, so the last one that's
X-Men.
on this thing is
X-Men.
I haven't seen it,
Haven't seen it yet.
It's so good.
so
Oh,
I
you
can't talk
watched
about
it?
it.
So
no,
good.
no,
dude.
I forgot about it. Now I want to go watch it
No,
because
but-
I loved the X-Men.
No, here's the thing. The reason
Sure.
I didn't watch it is because I've never seen the original.
Oh,
So
really?
I don't like I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never seen the whole show.
Fair.
So I was like, I'm not gonna watch it
Fair.
because I don't want to like start here and then like have to go back eventually.
Fair.
I
You know
watched
what?
the original
Fair.
X-Men show.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about it is that they have the Spider-Man '98 show
Yeah.
cameo,
Yeah.
and I think they should remake that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the. I really like this show because it really
So
portrays.
was this just a reiteration of the old show? or is it just like a remake?
Well, isn't it like a
A
continuation?
continuation.
continuation.
A continuation.
Oh,
Yeah,
so now
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta watch it.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's why I
gotta
didn't watch
watch
it. I
it.
didn't want to
No,
like.
okay,
I didn't want to
okay.
like not know
It's
something.
so good, dude.
So what do you think?
Oh,
I'll
dude.
let you pick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is all you, Vic.
I'll go with you.
So I might be biased because I remember watching the show when I was young. Loved it. And when it came out again in continuation, I'm like, oh, and I really love animations. I would love to put it in S tier. End of S tier.
Okay.
But that might just be nostalgic hitting me.
Okay. Is
I-
it better than Loki season 1?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mostly because
I might have to go watch it.
mostly
I
'cause I-
will go watch
also
it.
because I also really love the X-Men, right? So their story is also very like I
No, me
love-
too. Me too.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Out of Marvel superheroes, X-Men are one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I said, I have no say. So Vic, this is literally all you.
But put it high A, low C. Honestly,
Okay, do you think? Okay, so you said it was better than.
better than Shang-Chi.
okay. Sorry. You said high A, low C.
Yeah, you did say that.
Sorry, high A,
I was
low
like, that's
S.
not the
Fuck, I put a U. High A, low S.
So you think it's better than Shang-Chi?
Oh yeah.
Alright.
But again, like I said, I might
you're-
just be nostalgia
No, you can put
talking.
it. We can put it there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, now it's gonna make me watch it, and we can have something to discuss later. See how it is. Yeah.
Or we could have something for the Patreon
Ooh. Very nice.
if we ever have a Patreon.
yeah, if we ever do, you'll never know.
Anyway, so that is it for the ones that we have things for.
On the actual list.
There were
There
three.
are.
3 more.
There's 1, 2, 3, and we could talk about Daredevil. It's not finished yet, but we could talk about it.
Let's wait till the finishes.
Let's wait until the
Yeah,
finishes.
we'll wait.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have 3 last things. Agatha all along.
Okay.
We're not gonna put them in any order. We're just gonna say what we think they should be.
Yeah.
So good.
A lot better than I was expecting it to.
Yeah.
True.
100%. I actually think it's A tier.
A tier.
A tier.
100%. It's
Oh,
A tier
easy.
show.
Yeah.
I actually think I liked it better than WandaVision.
Did you like it better than Hawkeye?
Honestly, yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Cool,
It's
cool.
so good.
Because
dude.
I think, oh my god, what's her name? The actual actress, Catherine Hahn.
Catherine
Yeah.
Hahn.
She does an amazing job
She's
at being Agatha.
She's so
She-
evil.
she's so-
I love it.
She's so good at being that type of role
Yeah.
that I think her performance alone bumps it up a little bit. So yeah, I definitely think it's better than WandaVision.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Patty LuPone is in this show too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love seeing theater people get
Yeah. It's also the
Recognition.
introduction of Wiccan,
Wiccan. Ah.
which will eventually lead to the other brother. I forget the name that his superhero name is.
yeah.
Because that's clearly where they're going with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an A tier show. I think it's probably one of the better ones that they've done.
It also sets up a lot of witch stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't super touched on WandaVision.
And they kind of like keep you up to date with I guess what happened with the Darkhold.
Oh yeah.
Which it's the Darkhold is a lot bigger than I think a lot of people
Yeah.
Oh my
make it
god.
out to be.
Oh,
It feels like so important now in the MCU.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's A tier, 100%. I think it's 100%.
I love the ending because now it's just Wiccan and the ghost.
Yeah, the
Spoilers if you haven't seen
spoiler,
it. The
yeah,
ghost
spoiler.
of Agatha just roaming, looking for the other brother. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next show.
Yeah. So the next one is What If Season 3. It's probably going to be
I haven't seen
in the
it.
same category as What If Season 2.
Yeah.
Again, they peak, and like this season in particular, I think is the one where they're just kind of like they're throwing ideas at the wall.
Honestly, C.
You know what? Yeah,
Honestly,
it's probably at the top of C. It's
Below Echo.
below Echo, but above
yeah.
There you go.
Cool. Quantumania.
Quantumania. Yeah.
Because it's not bad. If you,
fair.
here's the thing, if you're into those types of stories where it's just like, hey, what if this crazy thing happened?
Yeah.
Because my problem is like I said it before with What If Season 1, it's like, hey, what if things were similar, like in like a story? Like you look
Yeah.
at-
Like
look
if
at-
it makes sense.
yeah, like if you look at the Captain Carter thing, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what if Steve didn't take the Sarah, but it was actually Peggy Carter? Whereas
Yeah.
like in Season 3, it's like, hey, what if we just gave the Avengers like Gundam mechs?
Yeah.
Which I love it, right? I love it. I just love the concept of like, yes, mechas, right? But just
Yeah.
just
Mecha
giving
Avengers.
it-
That'd be kind of
yeah.
cool, but yeah.
be kind of cool, but just giving it out as like right? It's like no, right? Because there's also at the end, don't they show like some like still frames of like other stuff, right? And it's like I would rather watch that than what you showed me.
Yeah, like I said, it's not the greatest season. Like I said, the show progressively gets not as great, but I still think you could watch it. Like, okay, none of these shows or things are actively bad. Besides, like, Secret Invasion. That one's probably actually the one that's actively bad. That one's probably the one that's actively bad. But yeah. So what was that? We said top of C.
Top
Kind of
below Echo.
Below Echo.
Echo. Quantum
Last one.
Yeah. So the last one is the one we reviewed.
Oh yeah.
So it's Captain America. Brave New World.
You already know how we know about it.
It was okay.
It's either bottom of A or top of B.
I think it's top of B.
Top of B.
I don't think it goes in
Top
A.
of B is decent.
Yeah.
Top of B.
Ooh.
I would definitely watch it again over like Moon Knight, 100%.
Ooh.
I honestly, I think I'd probably watch it over Love and Thunder.
I wouldn't rather watch it over Love and Thunder. It's a one and done for me.
Honestly, I wouldn't watch it over Moon Knight.
Yeah, probably not either. I probably wouldn't watch it, to be honest, over Civil War. It's a one and done for me. I can't watch it again. It was We've all discussed this.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's break it down. Where do we think that should go?
It's definitely top of B, but like like in that area. But
what if we just put it right next to Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
There
Because
you
it
go.
kind of just feels like a continuation.
There you go.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I'm
fair.
good with that. Yeah,
That's fair.
Now, do we put it above it or below it?
Below.
Ooh.
The series was better than the movie.
I don't know. I like that.
But-
I like
but
the
the
movie a
the
little
movie-
better.
Yeah,
I
the
did
movie
like
adds
the
on to
movie.
it.
It does. Okay, yeah, above.
I feel like the show is the culmination of Sam trying to become Captain America.
Well, yeah.
Whereas the movie does a good job of like him, or I think I got my things messed up. I think the movie is him trying to become
Yeah.
the actual Captain America, whereas I feel like the show is more of like a trying to convince him that he could be.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think
I mean, that's what they were going
I think
for.
the journey
and
of
that's
him becoming it is more interesting than the journey of him finding out that he could be.
Yeah. Well, because in this one we actually see him be Captain America.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
He's already Captain
at
America.
the end of the day, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's a Falcon show with Bucky,
Yeah.
right? And at the very end, that's when he becomes Captain America.
Yeah.
So it's more so like, do you like the plot of the movie of him becoming Captain America, or do you like the slow progression of like, hey, we have a new Captain America, it's this guy. Maybe it should have been you if you had the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just, I guess at that point, it's just like, which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
I think I might prefer the movie more.
The movie.
And the movie had a Red Hulk too.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Red Hulk is cool.
It was okay. Yeah.
All right. So did you move it already?
There's no.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a thing. I completely forgot. I was like, did we move the thing?
That's what we're hearing.
Yeah. Well, Jesus Christ, that took us forever.
Yeah.
That was a very long.
We're
like,
very
podcast.
passionate about this
Yeah.
subject.
So I guess now we will just get into our pack openings.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's time for the packs.
All right. So
These are the scores.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think it's like 7-6 something.
Something.
You're in last. I know that.
It's 7.
I know I'm in last.
I think it's 7-3-8.
No, it
or
is
7-4?
7-3-6.
7-3-6. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were 8.
Wow.
All right. So do you guys want to roll dice, or you just want to pick?
It's
It's literally who wants the Obsidian Flames.
I'll take that one.
Okay. So then, do you want the loose pack or do you want the open pack?
I'll take this back.
Okay. I guess I'll open the one that's sleeved.
I felt a little bit of pull when I pulled that back. I felt this.
A little bit of a resistance. Anyway, guys, code cards will be somewhere right here next to Vic's crotch, probably.
Woo!
Yeah, he's a little shy. But hopefully we can do this next week, because we were having a little trouble trying to get just one pack at this time.
Lightning.
Yeah.
The game store that we're going to is now limiting even more than they were already limiting, which is fine. I understand.
Ooh.
I got fire. All right, so I guess Vic, since you're last, you can go
Yeah,
first.
go for it.
Thanks.
You go, I'll go. Ruben goes.
Tempo, Surskit, Nummel, Grivard.
Yeah.
Dartrix,
Mhm.
Oinkalone, Salazzle, Altaria, Oddish, Thunderous.
All right, so Vic didn't get anything, unfortunately. All right, John, you want to go first or shall I?
Story of my life.
Yeah, you can.
All right, so I got Magnemite, Panseer, Oranguru, Vulpix, Ceruledge, Chill, Teaser Toy. That doesn't seem right for kids. Fluttermane, Gimme Ghoul, Mankey, and I got a Landorus holographic. So I didn't get anything either.
Wow.
So John can tie with me. Sorry, he's doing stuff for the audio only listeners. Also, if you are only watching this audio only, when we eventually get this up to audio only, just take our word that we made a tier list and that we did it.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a Duraludon, Meryl, Drillbur, Quaxley, Terra Orb, Flapple, Doug Trio, Gimmigle,
Yep.
Flapple, and a Iron Crown.
All right, so we all just got hollows, so none of us got a hit, so that's fun.
Clap, clap.
Yeah, so golf claps. But yeah, that's it. Very long show. This is a lot. I honestly thought this wasn't going to take as long, but we started gassing up all the shows and stuff that we did like.
Hey, it was fun.
Yeah, this is definitely fun. Maybe if we are so inclined, maybe we'll do this with the much smaller DCU.
Yes.
Or like other stuff. I don't know. There's a ton of other things.
Yeah.
Maybe
Let us know what you think.
Maybe one day
That's
if I get them to watch Power Rangers, we can rank all the Power Rangers seasons.
Oh.
That is going to be so long.
Coming
How many
soonish
seasons
on
are there?
Patreon.
I don't know. There's not as much as you think, and you could probably get through them a lot quicker than you think you could.
Okay.
But anyway, that's gonna be it for this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would say leave a comment of what you think is S and A and all that, but that'd probably be a long time. Just tell us what your favorite movie or TV show is, because we love that engagement.
Or if you do disagree with one of our picks.
I'm sure there's gonna be somebody out there who loves Secret Invasion.
And we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry that we
Sorry
had
if Rhodes is your favorite character.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's been it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. My name's been Ruben.
I'm Vic.
And I've been John.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Cool. I'm getting rid of that.
Oh, my...